Hello and welcome to the channel, welcome to the vlog, welcome to the car, welcome to Cornwall, welcome to 18 minutes past 5. 18 minutes past 5 in the morning, Christmas Eve. Because as I record this, I am driving up to Bristol and it's going to be a long old drive. I have cables connected to the dash camera and I've got cables connected to the 1X. Do I even know if this is going to work? I have no idea. I have no idea if those are going to feed power from the car. I also have a non-rechargeable battery in the Zoom H1 handy recorder. So hopefully we are going to be able to record for a little bit longer than normal. This journey is going to take about 3.5, maybe 4 hours. Because there's no traffic. Last time I tried to do this with traffic, it took about 6.5 hours. It's not a terribly long journey, but it is just, it's a long time to spend in the car by yourself. So I thought, well, since I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be doing my favoriteest thing in the whole world, which is night driving, why not just bring you guys along? So this could be a normal length vlog. This could be a normal 30 to 40 minute vlog. Or this could be an entire 3.5 hour vlog. At this point, as I sit in this car on the 24th of December 2023, on Christmas Eve at 20 past 5 in the morning, with the car set to cruise control, nailed at 60 miles an hour exactly, with no one in my mirrors and no one ahead, do not know how long this vlog is going to be, or even if it's going to exist. You see, the big thing about this vlog is that I won't know. I won't know, but you will. So if you are seeing this, then great. And I say that knowing that 15% of the vlogs that I record are deleted. I know this because I was there. I did it. I was the boy that did it. So 15% of the vlogs that I record are deleted. Yeah, straight up. I did one on Australian television way back, probably the summer after I started doing these car vlogs, and I think I just kind of got to a point and I was just like, the traffic on the road is being a little bit of a pain in the arse, and I'm having to focus more on the traffic than I am talking about Australian television. So things like Round the Twist, like kids TV shows, and I was like, no, if I gotta do this, I can't be giving a decent vlog. So I just stopped talking, and when I got home, took the cameras out of the car and just went, no, you guys delete all the footage. The cameras are interesting though. We have, facing forward, a GoPro Hero 3. I think it's the Hero 3 Black. It's the 2.7K edition. And to my side, the one in the cabin, is the Insta 1X, which is a 360-degree camera. It moves around because it's got a gyroscopic stabilizing chip built in. And the chip, what it does is it allows me to take a viewport from the 5.7K image that it records and sort of put it on me. Ah, there we go. That's the first little garbling of a word. So those two are actually running off the car's energy. And those are taking power from the 12-volt adapter. And I actually set those two cameras up yesterday. I set them up yesterday and I was like, I have a USB port down here, which I think, is the little flap still open? No, it's closed. I have a USB port on the front of my car. I think I have one in here because the sat-nav uses it. No, the sat-nav actually has a 12-volt adapter hardwired to it. I was like, oh. So last night, I was sat in the car in Cornwall, in the dark, trying to set up the cameras, and I was like, this is fairly rural. This is fairly rural where I live. I don't have many options. I think Halfords is going to be closed right now. There's no shops open in town. They all shut about 4 or 5 o'clock. And even if they didn't, they don't carry car hardware. Oh, we can actually go faster now. Boop, boop. We can now do 70. The the car's adaptive cruise control. It's fine. It's got a radar that can see more than we can. So yeah, I was like, so in order to power these two cameras, I have one USB, and I was like, well, maybe I just plug one camera in for half an hour and then the other camera in for half an hour. The answer to that is no, that's stupid. Don't do that. So I went to Asda, the local supermarché, and it was in fact the second time that night I had been there on the day before Christmas Eve, because the day before Christmas Eve is in fact still pretty busy, absolutely busy. Like, if you want food, don't bother going there. There's nothing. I was going around looking for stuff and I'm like, there's not a lot of food left. So, I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm driving 200 miles in that direction. Don't need to stock the fridge if I'm driving away from home. So yeah, I went to Asda and they happened to have a 12 volt to twin USB adapter, and I'm like, that's probably a better thing, because I'm pretty sure the USB adapter in the car is going to be, well, it's going to be data as well. And with cameras, you can attach power via USB, and that's fine. But if you attach power and data, I think the 1X would actually complain and go into like data recovery, like data transmission mode, and try and transmit all its video to the car. So that's a fun little thing. I was not expecting to see vehicles on the road today. Where has this lot come from, and why are they slower than me? Alright, we're going to scoot around this lad. Boop. Local traffic, interesting, at 5:25 in the morning. Hello, hello, hello there. Yeah, scoot past. The interesting thing about local traffic is it's not that interesting. But why is it out on the road at this time in the morning? Well, that's because... Okay, I'll finish this story about the USB adapter. Yeah, it was a tiny little USB adapter, plugged it into the 12 volt socket, got some cables, got some extensions, now the camera's powered by electricity. However, and this is a fun thing, however, the audio recorder is not, so I just got some regular batteries for the audio recorder. The audio recorder is a Zoom H1, it takes one AA battery. Normally I put a rechargeable battery in, but rechargeable batteries are 1.2 volts. Cool. But the thing about the batteries that you buy, they're 1.5 volts. So I'm hoping that everything can make it for a few hours undisturbed. I mean, if we need to, we can always pull over in a services and just check everything out. Don't know. I mean, I could probably, if the audio recorder cuts out, switch to something else, then switch back again. Do I even know if it's attached? Don't know. I don't know. I don't know, me lord. Camborne. So yeah, what else was I talking about? I can't remember. I went onto one subject, went onto the other, went back again. Local traffic, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that was it. The AA, and I think the RAC, gave a letter warning. They were like, oh buddy old bean, yes, me dudes, you're going to want to probably leave a little earlier. Oh, really? Since 3 days before Christmas, the traffic on the roads busies up by 20%. Oh, does it now? Yes, it does. Right, 20% times 6 times 60. That's a lot of extra minutes if I do get stuck in traffic again around the roadworks which we're about to head to. Those are blue lights ahead. I definitely saw some blue police lights ahead. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere. I can see them reflecting off the clouds. Yeah, so every time I've been up to my sister's, up to Bristol, I have taken quite a long time to get there, partly because of these roadworks we're about to hit, and partly because of the, where are the speed signs? We haven't gone past one yet, 2 miles away, okay. And partly because of places like Exeter. So Exeter has a nasty tendency for all the traffic to gather around it, like like fish around a dead body in the ocean. And they just don't go anywhere. It's like, oh, all right, that's neat, I guess. So, yeah, that's a fun one. Cycling is prohibited, all right. These roadworks, what they're doing is they're dualling the A30. It should have been done by now in the winter, but they haven't managed to do that quite yet. So that's an interesting little one. Here we are, 50. So I've been slowing down using the speed man on the thing. 55, 50. Okay, cool. There are average speed camera checks along this bit of road. You can tell them because they are big yellow generators with a camera on top. They don't look like the normal average speed check, which is the big yellow stalk with the twin cameras on it. So we will accept that we are doing 50, set the cruise control to 50, and hopefully we can just cruise through the roadworks. I know it drops to a certain speed at some point. Carland, 9 miles, 15 minutes. Well, here's a fun little fact. After Christmas, I'm going to need to go and drive through all this again. 40. Boop, boop. There we go. 40 miles an hour. There we go. So yeah, it takes, on a normal morning, 40 minutes to get through this apparently. So I'm going to have to, like, the car is booked in 8:30 in the morning at Carland Cross, which is the exact opposite side of these roadworks. And the dude is like, you want to borrow a car, my dude? And I'm like, no, my dude, I can't borrow a car. And he's like, why not? I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. It would take me 2 hours to go home. I'd turn around and then come straight back. And he's like, oh yeah, no, that's the point. You're going to sit here? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sit here and watch Married with Children on my phone. Or Andromeda. So, yeah, that's a fun one. Roadworks, they're pretty, I guess, for 5:30 in the morning. So last time I did a vlog like this, we scooted all the way down here, got to Chivy Cross Roundabout, which no longer exists. Oh no, I think, yeah, no, it did exist. And then we scooted off and went to my sister's, stopped the vlog there. I picked up my sister and then carried on 6 o'clock on the other side of all of this. So that's kind of fun. I keep saying that's kind of fun. So there are a couple of things that you might notice. First of all, it's very early in the morning. Secondly, I've just woken up. Thirdly, I've had about 3 hours sleep. I went to bed and I laid down. I was like, okay, turn all the lights off, but have the night light on because I can't sleep without some light. Like, I cannot sleep without at least some light somewhere. It's impossible. I'll have a panic attack. If all the lights go out, if there's like a panic attack, if there's if there's like a power cut and I'm in bed and I've got my eyes closed and everything, I will have a panic attack. So I got to have some light on in the room. So I turn the little night light on, and it just glows different colours. It's not particularly bright, but it just allows you to see something. So I was there in bed, warm, but not like falling asleep. And every time I thought I was falling asleep, like, you start having little dreams or little daydreams in your sleep, and your arms go super lightweight. Like, when you're actually asleep, you have sleep paralysis. Some people get that when they're awake, but normally it happens when you are asleep, so that if you're having a dream when you're running around, you don't wave your arms and legs around and break something. Super important, that. So every time I thought I was drifting off, I was like, oh, I got to do a little scratch because my nose itches. Oh, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. Oh, got to do a little fart. Oh, I mean, it's just like that. I was like, oh, I'm asleep. Oh no, I could hear some noise in the house. Oh, I'm asleep. No, I just remembered something else I need to put in the car. Oh, and it was just like that for hours, at least a couple of hours. So I think I had about 30 minutes sleep? No, 3 hours sleep And I was just like, woke up when the alarm went off at 4, and I was like, oh, dudes, I do not want to be awake. Jumped in the shower, had everything ready. So in the back of the car are gifts, because I am driving, because it's Christmas. Well, it's Christmas tomorrow, Christmas Eve today. So the boot is full of gifts for my sister and her boyfriend and my dad. And all the clothes and stuff are kind of in the middle of the car. And then you guys are in the front with me. Nice. But it does mean I haven't quite woken up, and I haven't had that time to warm my voice up either. So I had a cup of tea, I had a muffin, and I had a sausage roll, and I jumped in the car. It's like, why did you not have breakfast? Don't have any cereal around. But sometimes what happens is you'll be talking away and you haven't quite warmed up, and you just garble words. It's garbage day. No, you just garble words. It's like, oh, all right. What am I looking at ahead? The car still says 40, so this is, it's still 40 along here. Yeah, I don't know. So they're supposed to have had this open now. Well, they said winter 2023. It's going to be winter 2024. Well, technically winter 2024, because January, February are winter. I think January, February count as winter 2023. We'll see if they can do this, but I'm not confident, considering there's a lot of piping and stuff over there. Oh. Why is my car saying red 40? We're not going faster than 40, and now we're doing 30. Oh, interesting. The car, so if you're going faster than the speed limit, the car will put a picture of the speed limit sign on the dashboard when it reads it. If you're going faster than it, it goes red. If you're going slower than it, it's the normal white color with the red ring around it. And I was like, yeah, my dude, you're going faster than 30. And I'm like, mate, you're driving my car. I mean, I'm steering the wheel, but you're doing the pedals. And it's like, yeah, about that. Okay. And this is a rounded dilly bout. Diddly what? I'm the scat man. Oh, now you know that I think it's this way. Oh, I hope it's this way. Yeah, now you know that Ned Flanders is in fact the scat man. He's the scat man. So how are you zen navigating in the dark, my dude? Well, that is a good question, because some of these roads are in fact relief roads built for the A30 roadworks, and some of these are the original roads, and some of these are going to be the dueling bits that they've done. I'm not going to know. I'm just going to have to zen navigate. There's more lights up ahead, so I can pretty much guess that stuff up ahead is going to be there. So yeah, it just is what it is, my dudes. But yeah, waking up. Oh, we are 40. We're set to 40. It's fine. Yeah, so waking up this time in the morning. If you start recording a video, I have found a thing where you will be talking, and you'll start trying to say words, but you haven't had time to warm up, and your brain is trying to say two words at the same time. Or you say a word and then you make a decision to say something else, like change the sentence, but the message from your brain to your mouth has already gone out, and you straight up say something that is a complete nonsense. It's a complete nonsense, it is. And what I'll do is I'll go dooby-dooby-doo. I'll say the word like cheese and rice, and it's like trice, and then I'll be cheesy cheese, and then you make an effort to say the corrected word with much more vim and vigor, so people don't mentally twig on to the fact that you just said something absolute nonsense. Now this is strange. I think we're on the dual bit, because we should be far left. This didn't exist last time I was up here, and I wasn't up here that long ago. I think you were in the car at that time. Yeah, because I didn't drive under this bridge, I don't think. Alright, I don't know what's going on here. Plenty of stuff. We can crank her up once we're out of the roadworks. And I think once we're out of here, it's back up to 70 miles an hour, which is what you can drive on the British freeways. Oh, are there any toll roads over here? Yeah, there are actually. But they're sort of short sections of road. We don't have them in the same way as America. North America and Europe has them. In Europe, if you are driving around, you might have tag, which is a little thing in your car. So I think you just drive through the toll sections of road and then you get billed later on, but you go through the automatic barriers. With the UK, I guess you have the same thing. There's only a few bits of road. I think Birmingham has it, I think. I genuinely don't know of many roads that have like a toll section on them. There are a few old toll bridges around where you've got to put 20p in a bucket. Oh yeah, I suppose the Tamar Bridge is also a toll bridge, but it's only ever like one direction. Sometimes motorbikes are exempt from tolls, like when you're going over the Severn Bridge. I've been over the Severn Bridge into Wales, and you got to pay to get in, but it's free to get out. And I have not paid to get into Wales on the motorbike. To be fair, I haven't driven that way in a long time, so I don't know if it's changed. But it's probably to stop guys on motorbikes having to take their gloves off and then rummage around in their pockets trying to find loose change. So, yeah, interesting. I've realised that I don't know where my wallet is. I think it's in the bag behind the seat. That could be a thing. I took it out to get fuel. I went to the supermarché to get an adapter, went home, put it in the bag. Yeah, that is a thing. Oh, 30. That's the thing about like first thing in the morning. When it is first thing in the morning, I tend to, if I know I'm going to be going to work or if I'm going to be doing something, what I will do is I will get everything ready the day before. So clothes, like pants, socks, t-shirt, jeans, everything is ready the day before. When it comes to things like breakfast cereal and the like, ready the day before. Everything is ready the day before. Because when I wake up in the morning, I do not know who I am. I wake up, I get into the shower, put on my clothes, and then go to go to work. I'm just like, I don't know who I am until like 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock? What am I talking about? I'm just getting disturbed by a dude that's like pulled up behind me. He should not have been able to do that. So I don't know if he's the cops. So we'll see. 50 along here, 55, no, we don't want that. We want 50, hooray! So I'm following speed limit signs. That was definitely 30 through there, because even if I didn't read it, the car does. And now he's pulled off. Where did he go? I don't know. It's been a weird journey. This is the old road though. There's a house somewhere along here, which is really nice, that you can't see. They are going to have a nice time once this bit of road's done, because it's going to get very quiet. There's another car behind me. Like, I'm seeing cars and then they're disappearing, and I don't know why. Are they just not reading the road? Oh, how strange. So yeah, one of the things I am going to have to be wary about is the 1X. Boop. The 1X is going to have a little bit of a problem that the GoPro Hero 3 does not. And that is the 1X is going to stop every half hour, and it's going to save the stuff that it has, and then it's going to 40. Yeah, this dude disappeared. And now he's right up my arse. And now he's overtaking on a bit of road where you're not supposed to overtake. Yeah, he just legit broke the highway code. Oh. I don't know. He was behind us, and then he disappeared, and he came back with a vengeance. I feel like Drive, except I'm the oil tanker. Do we explode that guy? Do we arm the EMP? Do we arm the EMP? I want to arm the EMP. I'm not actually worried if there are average speed checks. That guy is beans, because even though it's dark and you can't see, there's no one else on the road. The average speed will give him a ticket, and something like 200 people a month that belong here are given tickets. So, yeah, I'm completely chill with that, which is why we're now doing 30. So the reason why he's probably doing that speed, and is probably not even a local, there are a lot of second homes in Cornwall, like a lot of second homes in Cornwall. We have a housing crisis right now, and that is exacerbated by the fact that people from upcountry, especially people from like London, are coming down to Cornwall on holiday and going, this is beautiful down here, and then buying second homes. And the main problem with that is that the locals who can't afford it, that's not the same guy, surely. No, I don't know. The locals who can't afford a single house are just priced out of the market. So you get places like entire towns which are now Airbnb or second homes. Fowey, Fowey, sounds like Fowie, but it's Fowey. Is the actual town is deserted, is straight up deserted, because it is second homes, just wall-to-wall second homes. And you might say, yeah, but if the locals wanted houses, they just buy them, right? Well, the wages down here are the lowest in the UK, or one of, I think it's the 10th poorest area in Europe, is Cornwall. So we are lucky to get minimum wage down here. It's beautiful. It is the countryside. There's a lot of ocean, but when it comes to buying power, the actual residents don't have it. So when it comes to like houses, there are so many people who will just buy them up as a business prospect. So they're like, oh yeah, no, I own 50 or 100 houses in Cornwall. And it's just like, why? Oh, I rent them out as Airbnb. Oh, well, maybe don't do that, because that's like not great. This guy is gonna beans it straight past. This guy is uncomfortably close, and I don't know why. I don't think he knows about the... I'm going by the headlights. I think it's asshole. Weird there. It's probably a BMW, to be honest. So yeah, we are now back up to national road speeds. Yeah, that's weird. You don't ever know at this time in the morning who is normal and who is like a drunk driver. Oh, that might actually be... Is that a truck? Seriously? That explains why he didn't try and overtake. Weird. Yeah, so having loads of second homes in Cornwall and having loads of houses that are owned by people from up country, what can happen? What usually happens is at this time of year, everyone comes down to their second homes. It's like, oh, I'm going to spend Christmas in Cornwall in my mansion, or I'm going to spend Christmas in Cornwall in St Ives. Oh, you do that, buddy. Which means a bunch of people come down, but they are so used to driving in London that they have no idea how to drive in the countryside. So they just put their foot to the floor race down the motorway, and then once they get to Cornwall, they still have their foot to the floor, and they're just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep going. Cornwall, no speed cameras in Cornwall. Buddy, there's a load of speed cameras in Cornwall. There's a lot of speed cameras. You just don't know where they are. Sure, it has quite a few, which catches people out. Those roadworks have quite a few, which also catches people out. This stretch of the road, we've already gone past one fixed speed camera. We will go past one before we leave Cornwall, and we will go past one before we get to Exeter. But it is not worth speeding, so we are set to 70 miles an hour. And that is what we will do for however long. The interesting thing about this is I can see quite a lot of stuff ahead of us. It's very misty up ahead. What is up ahead? Sinostal? Yeah. I actually don't know what that is. That's the Wadebridge turn, I think. It's Wadebridge. It's like the industrial estate around Wadebridge. Okay, yeah. I've bought a motorcycle jacket from there before. My Dainese came from there. Oh no! This might be even before then. Oh yeah, no, this is Hamburger Hill. Ah, right, this is Fradden. So yeah, no, so Wadebridge on top of the hill, Fradden at the bottom of the hill. Okay, cool. So yeah, Anne's Cottage and stuff is sort of in that industrial estate to the left. As is a McDonald's, which is why we call it Hamburger Hill. And we are about to go uphill. Things are going to get loud. The car is going to get excited. The tacho is going to go from eco to power. So that's fun. Yeah, from about Temple actually, so not really here. We're going to start getting up and downhill. And it's misty. Do we turn on the fogs? No, the fogs is not going to help. Early morning mist. We can turn the fog lights on if we want, but honestly I can see okay, so I'm not expecting too much on the road. The things you can expect on the road are deer, which will mess your car up because 1/4 ton of deer through the bonnet is going to wreck everything ahead of us. Inconvenient. Foxes. Yeah, the foxy man, he will run out into the road, look at the car and stop. He's kind of a pain in the butt because he's like, oh, I heard you wanted to drive your car. Well, I'm just going to stand in front of it. I'm a dog with cat programming. What are you going to do about it? And I'm like, mate, what am I going to do about it? I'm just going to do a little click. 3, 2, 1. There we go. That's just in case the camera, the 1X is like stopped and had to restart again. So yeah, the foxy man. The other thing that can happen on the road is humans. Just a person standing in the road, like minding their own business. What is this dude doing in terms of not actually getting the move on? My dude. Alright. Got to be a little bit careful of people pulling out like this. I think everyone else had the same idea. 5:52 in the morning, so 8 minutes to 6 in the morning. One of the issues with driving at this time of night is automatic, I'm going to say that a lot, automatic high beams. I saw someone the other day with automatic high beams, and every time they saw a car coming the opposite direction, their high beams went off. When their car didn't see light coming in the opposite direction, the high beams went on. I was in front of them. It was like being at a disco. Disco, not great. Went blind. Well, would have been blind, except the mirror. The mirror is fun because it dims light from behind. So even though my dude behind has now put his high beams back on, it's alright, it's fine. So where are we now? We're on the Gosmore bypass. I can tell because that's a cable that runs down the centre of the road as a central reservation. Oh, really? Gosmore bypass? What does that bypass? It bypasses Goss Moor, my dudes. What was Goss Moor? It was a moor with a single, well, it was a normal dual carriageway road. One carriageway, one direction, one the other. It wasn't dualled, and there was a bridge. And the bridge was low. It was a railway bridge with mining traffic. And like lorries used to hit it all the time. And you'd have to take a detour down to Wadebridge from Goss Moor. And it was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, it's not great. Yeah, so you would have to take detours all the time. Traffic used to back up there for hours. It was a pain in the butt. So they built this, which is quite away from Goss Moor, because there are newts that live on Goss Moor that are protected. So the newts are okay. The newts are just living in the moors, and we are just kind of scooting through the mist, the morning mist, at 6 minutes to 6 in the morning. So we're okay. We had a full tank of fuel. I got fuel last night as well. So last thing yesterday, stopped by the gas station, got some fuel. Filler cap is on the left-hand side of the car. Went to the petrol station. The two pumps, they have three sets of pumps. Two of the pumps with the filler on the left. There are some dudes just having a chat. One with a flatbed car transporter, and the other just with a van. And it was like Brokeback Mountain. They ran up to each other and they were having a chat, and then one went and got his phone and they showed the other one the phone, and I was just like, I'd like to fill up, please. And they were just like, I was expecting them to kiss. I thought it was a Christmas miracle. No. The flatbed like car transporter drove off and then ran over a pedestrian island, and the other guy just scooted off in the opposite direction. Like ships in the night, I guess. But a full tank of gas, so we could go all the way if we wanted to. If I don't want to stop. So the reason I did a click, 3, 2, 1. The reason I did a click is because the 1X, unlike the Hero 3, so the Hero 3 will record a file that's under 4 gigabytes, 3.5 gigabytes, and it'll close it off and it'll write a new file instantly. It will record 4 hours pointing in the same direction, and it's fine to do that. The 1X will stop, close off the files, the 2 files that it records simultaneously, and then it will pause and it will start recording again. Why? Why does it do that? Oh, my dudes, it baffles me. It tasks me. It tasks me, and I shall have it. Yeah, so it's kind of baffling that it does that. Which means when I get all this onto the computer, if I get this onto the computer, if any of this is even usable, I am going to have to find every time I go 3, 2, 1 and sync that up. I would normally do a clap, but I'm not taking both hands off the wheel at night. I'm not going to do that anytime, in fact. The Aurora, at this time of year, located entirely within your kitchen. Yeah, so that's fun. Wadebridge and St Austell. So we went past the Wadebridge turning, but Wadebridge is actually quite far out. That turning gives you the industrial estate. This one, so we went past Victoria. This turning is where I turned off to get the windshield replaced, but you won't be able to see it. It's basically just an industrial estate, and there's bugger all there. Like, there's no life there at all, because the old road used to run out in the darkness over there, and then when they built this, all the traffic that ran out through Victoria and then through the industrial estate stopped. You just don't get it anymore. So everyone, all of that stuff out there, there's nothing. I went for a walk around there. There's a railway station on a single track line, It is actually the branch line that ends up in Newquay. So yeah, you can get there. You can only board from one direction, and in order to get onto the platform, you have to cross the railway line on a level crossing. So yeah, you go down some steps, you cross the line, and then you get onto the train, and that's it. That's the whole thing. So Lanson, 26 miles. Lanson, 26 miles to the end of Cornwall. This is going to be interesting because 26 miles to the end of Cornwall is significant. I have spent every single Christmas, this is Christmas Eve as I record this, I've said this before, but I'll say it again to remind everyone who's even getting to this point. Who's going to be watching this? I have no idea. Like, legit no idea. But yeah, so I have spent, since moving to Cornwall, since I was in school, I've spent every Christmas in Cornwall with Mum. So Cornwall with Mum. And this year my sister was like, oh, do you want to come up to Bristol and have Christmas with me and Dad? And I was like, sure, I would, but there's a motorbike. Meow. I was like, sure, I would, but let me just check with Mum first. So I gave Mum a call, asked her how she was doing, made sure she was okay, made sure, it's because my stepdad works, there's like call, so he can be on call. And I was just making sure he wasn't on call on Christmas. And I was like, there's no chance you're going to be alone on Christmas at all. And she was like, no, someone's going to be here and I might visit your sister. And I'm like, that's fine, okay? Is that okay? And it's just like, yeah. And I'm thinking about going to my other sister's, Bristol sister. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. So for the first time in my life, I'll be spending Christmas away from Mum. First time in my life, I will have Christmas away from Mum. And the first time since moving to Cornwall, I will be spending Christmas outside of Cornwall. I don't know how to feel about it. It's going to be different. I mean, yeah. So normally what I would do is I would wake up Christmas Day. I would wake up. I would do what I normally do, get a cup of tea, probably fire up War Thunder, because I do play a lot of War Thunder. And are we up to Bodmin yet? Lisgar, Plymouth, Bodmin, yeah, we are. Yeah, play a bit of War Thunder, have a cup of tea, have some breakfast, have something to eat. And then I would open my presents. It's nice, you know, being an adult and still getting like presents. It's not like being a kid. I've got a nephew. My nephew's got presents. I can say what I got him because this will be going up after Christmas. I got him a nightlight. In fact, my sister and her family, because it's my Cornwall sister, and she's got my nephew who's 2 years old and her boyfriend. So what I did is I just got a bag, one of the Christmas bags, and I got some little presents, and I just put them all in the bag. And I'm like, here's a load of presents for your family. You decide who gets what. I got a horror novel for my sister. So my sister's got a novel which is horror related. That is bright light. That is Bodmin giving that light out. That is straight up light pollution. Because it is not that light yet. We've just had the winter solstice. Yeah, this is like 2 days from the winter solstice, I think. This is like one of the darkest days of the year. Yeah, that's industrial estate light. There is a factory along here that makes bacon for like sandwiches. Smells great if you're on a motorbike. So yeah, I bought presents for Cornwall sister. Put them all in a bag, and it's just like, yeah, this is for your family. So she's got a horror novel which I have labelled as for her, but there is a nightlight in there shaped like a dinosaur, and that's probably going to go to my nephew, so he gets that, which is great. It's like got RGB and stuff. I'm going to pull out because this guy wasn't indicating, which he should, because a junction is still a junction, my dudes. And then we pull back. There we go. Excellent. So yeah, why did I get onto that? I don't know. There might be a lot of this. So that was Bodmin. There is a railway station in Bodmin and Parr. I believe there's also like a historical line somewhere. Give me more wipies, please. We're still just doing 70. We haven't changed our speed at all. Head only. Yeah, we're gonna go through Temple some point. Is this Temple? I don't know. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. So the road goes like full on single carriageway along here. This dude is not going fast. I can tell you're not local then. In your Mercedes with your plate, your custom plate on it. Goodbye. We're still just doing 70. You have to be a little bit careful in Cornwall, apart from the people standing in the road and the foxy man and everything. One of the big issues is you can get cattle in the road around here. So we're going over, well, we'll be going over Bodmin Moor. Out on the wily, windy moor, sweet Roland came in Bree. You had a temper like my jealous eel, too hot, too breezy. So yeah, Temple. They dualled this a while ago. So this is all dual carriageway now. It never used to be. It used to be single track roads. There's a petrol station. I once got to this point in a journey out of Cornwall, and I had to stop going up this hill back on over a single carriageway because there was a lay-by next to a tree, and I was so cold because I was on the motorbike one year. I was so incredibly cold that I had to stop and warm my hands up on the engine block. I had to take my gloves off and just be like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this. It was very misty, just like this. But I think it's all gone. I think the thing's gone because it'll be up this hill here. So yeah, the engine's going to razz up a little bit as it's wont to. So from this point, it's going to be a lot of up and down, like a roller coaster. Yeah, I think they took the lay-by out. It used to be along here. But I pulled in, warmed my hand up on the engine block, warmed my hand up on the headlight, because that was a fun thing. And straight up, almost froze to death. That was the year when my visor got scratched up. There was so much salt on the road, and I was constantly wiping out spray that the salt scratched the absolute crap out of my visor, and I couldn't see. I have no idea how or why that was even a thing, why it was even possible. So I had to ride with it cracked open, and when I got to Dad's, I was like, yeah, I gotta get a new visor. I think I ended up getting a new helmet, like a whole new helmet. Yeah, I got the Femez one, or was it the Shoei one? Oh no, I think it was Femez that I started with, and then I got a Shoei helmet instead, because it was more expensive, but it was like just a better helmet. There are things you do not save money on a motorbike, and your armour is one of them. Tyres are the other one. So never save money on tyres, and never save money on your armour, helmet, gloves, jacket. You want spine protection, you want shoulder protection, you want elbow protection, you want armoured hand protection, you want a good helmet, you want good boots. Because if you come off, that is what's going to keep you together. And I have come off a motorbike before. Went and watched a film with some friends in Penzance, and then I was riding back. I was living in Mum's place at the time, so I was riding back through like the Nancledra Road, and got to Castle Gate, or in fact the turns before Castle Gate, and I straight up locked the rear wheel, because my motorbike had drum brake on the rear, so it had a twin discs on the front and a drum on the rear. And what ended up happening was that there it is. What ended up happening is that there was mud in the road, and there was a couple of very sharp turns, very, very sharp turns, and sorry, I'm just trying to concentrate because it's very wet out. The mist is causing a lot of water on here, and I'm trying to remember where I am. We're actually up on the moor itself, so we're not that far from Jamaica Inn. We won't be able to see Jamaica Inn today, partly because it's night and partly because it's so misty. But Jamaica Inn is Daphne du Maurier wrote the Jamaica Inn novel, and they've been capitalising on that for a long time. So yeah, I was riding back. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning after watching this film in Skinnymarr, and I got to the first of the 90-degree corners, and there was mud all over the road from a tractor. Just huge clods of mud, bigger than your fist. And I was like, oh, the road surface is extremely slippery. I can see that in the headlight. And what ended up happening is I went to slow down. I wasn't going particularly fast, but I went to slow down for the corner, and the rear wheel locked up because the drum brake locked up. So I let off the brake and the wheel started rolling again, and I still wasn't slowing down enough for the corner, so I put my foot down, and it locked up again, and I was like, there is no way I'm stopping. So I turned the bike sideways and just slid it out from under me in order to stop. That was a 90-degree corner into barbed wire and a field with an embankment. It would have been incredibly painful had I gone through that. So I laid it down on my left knee. I actually broke the clutch lever off against my knee, punched a hole in my jeans. So I was laying in the road with the bike on my left leg. That was painful. That was incredibly painful, actually. I thought I'd broken my leg. The headlight surround got twisted. The handlebars were bent. The clutch lever was snapped. The left mirror was smashed. The left indicator was hanging off by a cable. The tank got dented and scratched. The rear left-hand indicator got smashed off. The left foot peg got bent. The engine and engine block and frame were okay, because that's where my leg was. And I was just laying in the road. I was just like, oh, bugger, that's not great. So, yeah, that wasn't particularly good. It's a tractor. So I was like, okay, I've got to get up. I've got to get out of the road. And I went to lift my bike, and it's quarter of a ton. It was a Honda CX500. The CX500, with its V-twin and contra-rotating clutch, top speed about 90 mile an hour, but I liked it. It was a nice bike. It was chunky. Hated turning corners though. Really hated stopping. So yeah, I drove that many miles. It was my first big boy bike. Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning, smashed it all up, stood up. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Went to lift the bike, couldn't do it. I was all shaken up anyway. And I was like, well, what do I do? What do I do? Can't lift it. And a car came round the corner and stopped. All I could see was its headlights. It was a taxi. It was a taxi going back to Penzance. And he was like, oh, you're right. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. And he was like, oh, mate, what's going on? And I'm going to overtake these guys. I was like, can you give me a hand lifting it? So he did. He gave me a hand giving it a lift, lifting it up off the deck. And interestingly, he started freaking out, like fully freaking out. He was like, oh my God, what is all this? Because in the headlights of the car, it looked like the road was covered in blood, like crime scene levels of covered in blood. I was like, my dude, worry not, for you see, this is not blood. This was petrol all over the road. It was coming out of the carburetor. So I was like, don't worry, I'm okay. My knee hurt. It was so painful. I could not believe how painful that was. I looked, there was a little hole where, as the handlebars came down on my leg, the clutch lever had actually struck the side of my leg and had snapped off against my knee. So we got it upright. I started it up, and it started because it's a Honda CX-500 and it takes a lot to kill those bikes. So it started, and then I jumped back on, and he was like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, thank you. The headlight was now pointing into the verge because of the headlight surround was smashed, but the headlight was still working. The actual headlight unit itself was fine. Where are we in the world? I think we're about to go downhill. Yeah, we are. I've got to think where we are. Oh, we're a lot further forward than I think we are. Esso. This is still bobbing more. I think we've actually gone past. Beep, beep, beep. I think we've gone past Jamaica Inn. I think that's on Bobbin Moor. So anyway, yeah, the headlight was pointed into the hedge. She started, the handlebars, one side was bent all the way back. The side with the clutch lever, there was enough clutch lever to still change gears. I drove her home to Mum's, put her in her garage, and then went to bed. Genuinely thought I'd broken my leg, and I was just like, I'm going to deal with this in the morning. I think I took 2 paracetamol and just literally went to sleep. Woke up in the morning and I was in agony. Checked the bike and I was like, fudge. So I went and ordered a bunch of extra bits from, there's like a Breakers website. Like all the scrap dealers have this Breakers website that you can go to and order parts for your vehicle off of it. So I did. I ordered a new headlight surround from there and a load of bits and pieces. I went to, it's not Maplin. Is it M&P? Excuse me, cough. There's a website, website you can go to buy spare parts for your vehicles. There's a speed camera along here. It is 70, but I'm slowing it down for 2 reasons. So I ordered a bunch of parts, had a new fuel tank, got some badges and stuff for the fuel tank because the original owner had taken all the badges off for some reason. So just kind of started restoring that bike. She was a good bike, I liked her, but couldn't keep her forever. Ended up upgrading her to the CX650. So that was an upgrade. Discs on the back, discs on the front. so I didn't have the problem of the brakes locking up anymore. You have to be in this lane. Even though it's dual carriageway, there's a junction there, and sometimes people get confused coming from that way, going to Polyphant. It's Polyphant that's out there. It's a little village. There's not much out there, but Polyphant is there. So yeah, and sometimes they'll come across because it's just supposed to be a crossroads, but they'll get onto this side thinking it's the Polyphant Road, and then hoof off in the wrong direction up the dual carriageway, and you'll see them in the fast lane coming towards you. Happens disturbingly frequently. So we're still in Cornwall at the moment, but that little turning back there, the road splits in two going up the hill. So you need to slow down to about 60 in order to come up to make it easier to make those turnings. There's a big old S-bend. The central area is actually fields, which sometimes they put sheep in. But that does mean the next town is Launceston, and Launceston is the last town in Cornwall before the River Tamar, and we get into Devon. I don't think we've done a vlog driving from Cornwall into Devon, so that's a first. I mean, the audio recorder is still working, the cameras are still working, so that's great. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Just a little click. Got to remember to do it. It's now 20 past 6 in the morning. So we've been on the road for an hour. Bleh. What did you do that for? I don't know, my dudes. You're going to be careful along here. It's nice and flat and could be fast. There is a road that joins to the left. It's a long, old-fashioned junction, like a 70s style junction for on traffic. But because it's so long, and because it's kind of a long easy on, they quite often park a speed camera van along here near where that sign is, I think. So you'll be coming along giving it the source. Yeah, just here on the left. And there'll just be a speed camera van just there waiting for you. So we are locked to 70. We've done Bodmin Moor, but we haven't done Dartmoor. So yeah, there's a lot of moors. Along here somewhere is the Ginsters factory. They make something called a Cornish pasty. Ginsters do not sell Cornish pasties. They sell something called a Cornish pasty. A Cornish pasty is made from a very heavy, very elastic pastry, very dense pastry. Has a very thick crust on one side. So it's basically like an apple turnover or something like that. It's called a pasty, P-A-S-T-Y. So Papa, Alpha, Sierra, Tango, Yankee. It's called a pasty, not a pasty. A pasty is something that I've heard Americans call it. That's objectively wrong. So a pasty is what you call it. Favoured by miners because you can wrap it up in greaseproof paper or a cloth, or have it like in a tin, in a luncheon tin. You can go down into the mine, you can do all your mining, and then when it comes time to eat, all you do is you hold it by the crust. That way you can have your pasty, you can eat it by the crust, and then you throw the crust away afterwards for the knockers. The knockers are the creatures that live in the dark, and when a timber, because you have knocking timbers, if you hear a knocking timber start to make noise, you have about 12 seconds to get out of that section of mine before it collapses. So you throw your crust off into the dark for the knockers, but you hold onto the crust because your hands are covered in possibly heavy metals, arsenic, uranium, lead, tin. There's an awful lot of things you don't want to ingest. It's got swede in it, it's got tato in it, it's got, I think, onion in it, it's got beef skirt in it. So the beef skirt you put on top of the vegetables, you put the pasta, you put the thing over the top, and then you crimp the crust, and the crust is very thick. We are now in Devon. So that is a Cornish pasty favoured by tin miners of old. It is a full meal. The Ginster's Cornish pasty has none of that. It is a soft crust thing that is... It ain't right. It ain't right. So, yeah, that's not great. There is a town diagonally that direction, which I think is the first town in Devon, but we don't see it from here. But they make it just inside the border in order to call it a Cornish pasty, because in order to call it a Cornish pasty, because it's like a heritage thing, a World Heritage thing, has to be made in Cornwall. You cannot have a pasty that's not made in Cornwall, my dudes. That is going to get you into a lot of trouble. So if it's made outside of Cornwall, if it's made by Greg's, then that ain't a pasty. That's just a... Well, it can be, I guess. But you can't have Cornish in the name. So yeah, Ginster's factory in Launceston, just so you can get the Launceston name. It's a thing. It's a thing. So I got headlights in my rear and I got headlights at the front, but we're still doing 70. The car is still okay. We still got plenty of fuel. The actual needle hasn't moved. So when you fill up a fuel tank in a car, it's got a float in it. And when it gets to the top of the fuel tank, it won't move for a bit because the fuel has to get to the bottom of the float, and then it has to start going down below the bottom of the float for the float to start going down. So the needle hasn't moved even though we've been driving for an hour, which is kind of neat. We're still a hybrid, so that's kind of cool. Thinking about this, I don't wish to be negative, but I don't think I'm going to be able to talk for 3.5 hours. I think my voice is going to give out way before then. Don't know, no idea. We might be able to do it in 3. But the motorway portion of this trip is kind of boring. I actually don't know if this is kind of boring, actually. I don't know who's going to be watching this, driving in the dark. But then again, I didn't know who would be watching Euro Truck Simulator VODs, so no idea. No idea. I'm seeing the headlights behind, and I'm not entirely sure. These guys going to want to overtake, or are they? How far back are they? I don't know. So yeah, we're okay. We're fine. Just chonking along through Devon. Devon only knows how they make it so creamy. It's ambrosia, where they make rice pudding and cream. But do they make clotted cream? Probably. They make clotted cream in Cornwall, in Rodders. James says that in order to make clotted cream, you take milk. Did you say milk or cream? I can't remember. I think you take cream and you just bake it for 12 hours, and it makes clotted cream. Clotted cream is cream that is thick. It is thick. It's got a bit of a crust to it, little like a dark crust, and you can put it on things like scones. So you put clotted cream on scones. Scones. It's a scone because you have an E on the end. The E is a modifier. It was scone if there was no E, but it's a scone, so I don't know. Have fun with all of that, I guess. This dude is behind me. I'm going to take the wipers off because I realised I've been wiping my windshield and I don't think we need it. No, it's still kind of wet out there. This guy is in the outside lane as if he wants to overtake, but he's not overtaking. Weird. I think everyone's just happy. Like, if everyone just stays where they are, we'll get to where we need to be relatively easily. We are catching up with the guy in front, though. Which I don't really want to do, but well, whatever. The next speed camera, as far as we're concerned, is actually it's Pathfinder Village. Yeah, we're going to be overtaking this lad. So Pathfinder Village is the next one. How do we know when we're there? We do not. So I'm gonna scooty boot out here because we're in this lad's spray. Let's go past him. Sorry, my dude. Got places to be, people to see, things to do. Gonna not be you. Goodbye. Have fun being you. Have fun with all. So long, and thanks for all the fish. That's how you do that. So we're back in the dark. It's just us driving in the dark. Yeah, Euro Truck Simulator. What is that? It's kind of like this, where we drive with a day and night cycle. We got a day and night cycle. It's going to be mostly night because the winter solstice has just been here, and it is now 6:30 in the morning. It is? Yeah! 6:29. 6:30 in the morning. 3, 2, 1. I gotta remember to do that. That is going to be a pain in my butt. Audio still recording. Oh boy. This is going to be a long old vlog. Christmas Eve vlog. Christmas Eve. 100 years. Me and Christmas Eve vlog. 100 years. Yeah, alright. I'm actually surprised to see as much traffic on the road as I'm seeing. When my sister and I have been down here in the past at this time of year, we've done it at the end of January. And that has been a long old trip. So we scoot down end of January to my sister's, and it looks like this until about 8 o'clock in the morning. And you don't tend to see this much traffic. I don't know if it's just because we're all bunched up or whether it literally is because it's Christmas Eve. So, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But yeah. So we go through Devon. Do we go through Dorset? No, we do not. No, just Devon. Devon, Somerset, Bristol. So Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, Bristol. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. Works start here 4th of December. You what, mate? There's more roadworks. I didn't sign up to more roadworks. What are you talking about? That seems egregious. A little ridiculous even. Alright, fine. So, what are the next towns coming up? Well, at some point there'll be a turn off to Oakhampton. Oakhampton is a little way off of here. There's also I think on the Oakhampton turn, there's also a turn off to Hatherley. Hatherley is where I went and did a writing course in a Doomsday era cottage. Doomsday is from I think it's 1068 or something like that. I think it was the Normans came and took over and just went, oh, hey, we don't know what's in this country that we've just invaded and taken over. Because people forget, the French once invaded the UK and kind of took over the UK for a bit. The Danish took over the UK for a bit, or what was the UK. So the Danish came in, kicked the pants out of everyone, took over. The French came in, kicked the pants out of everyone, took over. The Saxons, or the Germans from Saxony, came in, kicked everyone's pants and took over. When people say, the British are a bit colonial, you know, they really do like taking over half of the world. Yeah, but the British have been taken over several times before. It's just something that used to happen back then. Not so much, I'd like to say not so much these days, but looking at world events, I don't think much has changed. So we are going up a hill. I think I know where this hill is. It's not a very interesting hill during the day, so yeah, we're just scooting up here. Yeah, I know exactly where this is. It's fun on a 125 if you happen to be on a 125 motorcycle. It's long and you do about 50 up here and everyone tries to overtake. Bideford, Tavistock and Plymouth. Oh. So, Bideford, the car is getting turbo excited. Bideford is actually quite a long way away from here. You might turn off the road here and say, I'm going to go to Bideford. Oh, this must be the Hatherley turn. Yeah, Hatherley. So this is also the turn off. I'll get back to that. Bideford is where I bought the CX650. You turn off, you get onto the Hatherley Road, and it's basically marked as an A road, but it's effectively a B road. It is, there's bugger all along that road, but it goes from normal road to like farm track in a heartbeat. It is unpleasant. And then you get to Bideford and it's by the sea and there's nothing there. And I bought this bike from like an engineer who was like, I'm an engineer. Okay. I've done some work on it, and I was like, cool, can I have it? And he was like, yeah. So I paid him the money and I got the bike. And that was good. That was after my CX500. But yeah, no, Hatherley. So Hatherley, Doomsday Cottage. Doomsday is, the Norman. I think it was the Normans, and they were like, okay, let's do a census of all of the stuff that's in the British Isles, because we've just taken that over. And so they did. They did a census of all the stuff that's in the British Isles, and they put it down. Every field, every house, everything that was here that they owned. And like, we own this now. All right. You can have some extra words. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you have cows, but we're going to call it beef. Oh, all right. Yeah, pig, we're going to, I think pig and pork. Beefy Jeefy. So, yeah, the reason we have certain French words in the English lexicon is because of the Norman invasion. So, yeah, we have beef for beef, but we also have cows for cows. Same thing, basically. Reservoir. Kiosk is not a French word, it's a Turkish word. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's kind of inherited from France. Baguette. Une baguette. So yeah, we also get the Tower of London. That's a Norman castle in London. You can tell Norman castles, they either did Motte and Bailey, which was a ringed fortification around a hill, so a wooden palisade around a hill, and then another palisade with a bailey on top of the hill. The Motte had the town in it, and the bailey had a little, basically a keep on top of it, all made of wood. And then they upgraded, they put stone castles around. Square walls, square towers, which is a weak point, because if you take a corner out of a building, it collapses. So later castles had rounded towers, and if you didn't have a rounded tower, well, yeah, you had a straight wall into a rounded tower to give you more strength. So, yeah, castle design, interesting. How did we get onto that? Oh, Doomsday, yeah. So Hatherley, there's a Doomsday Cottage, which meant it was around in Doomsday. So it's about 1,040 years old, something like that. Thatch cottage, looks great. They converted the pig pens into like billets, into dormitories. The actual house itself has rooms in it that you can stay in. It's got a kitchen. It's got a big area in front of the fireplace with a big long table. And then they've built a little tiny cottage out the front where the guest authors come and stay. So you have guest authors who will come, and they will. It's going to step out. the guest authors will come and they stay in the little cottage, and then they take lessons in the morning, and then in the afternoon you have like free writing time, or at least it was for the course that I was on, which was an advanced writing course. Oakhampton, that's the other Oakhampton turn. So yeah, it was an advanced writing course for adults, because you can write for kids, or you can do loads of different courses there. It was Arvin, Alpha Romeo, Victor, Oscar, November, Arvin, ARVON. And yeah, I went there. I was a little nervous actually, because I knew nothing about it. So 3, 2, 1, going to do that again. I knew nothing about it. It was bought as a gift by my parents, and I think other people as well. Dad had actually talked to my boss and managed to book some time off, which was kind of unheard of that time of year. Aurora Borealis, at this time of year, located entirely within your kitchen. Yeah, so I was like, oh, great. And I said, yep, and the week is booked off. And I was like, oh. So I have social anxiety. So being told that you're going to spend a week away with a bunch of people that you've never met before, I was like, oh, this is weird. So I turned up on my motorbike. It was a red motorbike, so it was a CX 650. And yeah, they were like, yeah, so the first thing we do is buy beer. And I was like, I'm not going to buy beer. So they, oh, there was the barn as well, where you went in the evening. They had things like sofas and things in the barn, big comfy sofas. And you straight up, why is he flashing his lights? I don't know. No idea. I mean, it's not me, because my beams aren't high beam. We're automatic for the people, my dude. Yeah, so you turn up, and I was in one of the pig pens. Interesting, because it was full of harvester spiders. Like on the ceiling, it was just full of harvester spiders. The spiders with the big long legs, I mean, harmless. They would occasionally fall off the ceiling and then scrabble back up the wall. And there was a shower and bathroom off to one side, which was shared by everyone in the pig pens. So that was interesting. So yeah, I turned up, kind of full of social anxiety, and I was like, I'm not entirely sure that I want to do this. But it was great, it was fine. I was writing a cyberpunk novel at the time, and everyone was like, I don't even know what cyberpunk is. It's like, oh, well, cyberpunk is like science fiction, but it's for future people doing like stylish, I mean, like Cowboy Bebop, and nobody knew what that was, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, it was fun though. They sort of look at your work, they take little lessons and things. Is he not going to turn off his high beams? I don't think he is. He is not. So yeah, there was one thing that they went through very specifically, and that was one of the authors. Because the authors are given works to read by people. People are like, oh, I want to get into the writing business. I will give you my manuscript and you can read it, and then you can give it to your publisher. And the author was like, no, that's not how it works. I'm busy writing. I have no time to read other people's work. But, very interestingly, he read out an excerpt from somebody's novel. Where is this? Torrington. Okay. So he read out a little excerpt from somebody's novel that they'd sent him, and it was a romantic scene. It was a very romantic scene, and It was awful. It was absolutely awful. It was on Reddit. There's something called Bad Woman's Anatomy. It's a subreddit where male writers write about ladies having romantic times and how it would feel from a lady's point of view. And they're quite often science fiction writers, but actually they get it wrong, like tragically wrong. And this guy got it tragically wrong. And so he was like, I'm going to make you sit, all of you in this room. You're all going to sit and you're all going to listen to how bad this writing is. And I'm like, please don't. Please don't. It is not the reason that I have never written a romantic scene, a nudie scene in any of my stories. But it's not the reason. I mean, I would never do it anyway because it just doesn't feel right. I mean, you're forcing that upon a reader, somebody who has taken the time to read one of your stories. It's not, I mean, unless it's like you're writing a romance novel, and I guess I could write a romance novel. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's probably the easiest thing in the world. It's smashed in the butt by my own butt, or whatever that dude does. There is a guy that writes like generative novels based on people getting smashed in the butt by their own butt. And yeah, so there's a lot of that. I would never do that. I've been writing horror recently, which is very different from science fiction. Well, not massively different, if I'm going to be honest. But horror is interesting because horror allows you to get very creative, to bend the rules of reality, and to get a little bit nasty. Oh, you can be the little nasty boy. You can be the little nasty boy when you are doing horror. It's kind of fun. You have to be very careful though. I don't want people to be opened up like a tin of beans. I don't want to have to describe that. But I do want bad things to happen to good people. I don't want it to be guaranteed that the hero or the protagonist is even going to make it alive to the end of the story. I want it to be dangerous. I want people to start a story and think, you know what? We don't know if anyone's going to get out of here in one piece. So, yeah. I've got 2 sets of headlights behind me. This is interesting. I don't know if somebody's woken up and is now going a little bit faster. I have a feeling that might be the case. That's is that a BMW? I don't know. Can't see anything now, but my dudes. That's why I kind of didn't want this guy to overtake. Oh, my dude, you're going to overtake and sit in front of me like an idiot in your Dacia. In your Dacia Duster? So a lot of road spray. A lot of road spray. You do not have what some would call a set of mud flaps. So I wonder if he's going to pull away from us. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he goes away. I'm going to drop us by 5 miles an hour just to get away from this lad. Goodbye, enjoy your journey ahead of us. He's not going to get there any faster, but I just don't want to be in his spray. There we go. Put us back up again. Oh, we're back up again. Good. So yeah, writing horror. It's been a fun journey. It's been an interesting journey. There are 4 cars ahead of us. It is now nearly 20 to 7 in the morning. Okay. The fuel gauge is beginning to go down. That's okay. Where are we in the world? I don't know. We can't be that far from Exeter. I'm just looking at the fuel gauge and trying to work out where we are in the world. Sheridan Bishop. Okay. Oh, we're coming under the influence of the car ahead. That ain't great. So we're going to overtake. Alright. We haven't done the concrete bit of road yet, so I don't think we're that far ahead. Well, 4 lights become 3. Check it back and turn in. Good, excellent. Yeah, writing horror has been fun. Short stories have been particularly rewarding because it's just nice to write short stories and not have to worry about getting 80,000 words or 90,000 words. Like, hundreds of thousands of words is something of a complete pain in the butt. Now, who are you and what do you want? You are slow and you are a voxel? Nope. You are a Peugeot. No, I think that's a Renault Cactus. No, Renault don't make the Cactus. That's Citroen. I don't know what that was. I think it's yeah, I don't know. I think it's a Peugeot. Anyway, yeah, horror writing. Yeah, horror writing's been interesting. It has been a lot of short stories. Some short stories you start and just go, this ain't gonna work. This is not. You write yourself into a corner and it's like, nah. Planning has been interesting. So the first story I wrote the beginning of this year, and then I kind of got stuck because I was trying to write a second story and I was like, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same, just with different people. I don't want this. I really don't want this. So I was like, okay, this is weird. So I was like, well, give it a break, calm down, and just let your subconscious work on something else. So I did. And then I had to call my sister and I was like, look, I've come up with an idea for a story. Is it going to be weird? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Camera. Is it going to be weird? And she says, write it. Write it anyway. Oh. I think it is going to be weird. I think it's going to be very weird. But I think it's also going to be okay. There's a speed camera here, I think. I think we just went past it. Yeah, we did. I was like, speed camera? Pathfinder Village. Yeah, we're okay. We're fine. Oh, we're not that far from Exeter. Just. Which means it won't be too long before we're on the motorway. Boo! The motorway's kind of boring. Boo! All that glow in the sky that we had around Bodmin's gone. Yay! So, yeah. Second story. So when you say weird, well, the first story definitely has nudity in it. And it's from a female perspective. Like, it's a lot of ladies in the story. There are some dudes, but they're mugged off pretty quickly. It's just like, here's some dudes. Yeah, they're gone. It's a horse. Don't need those. Superfluous. Get rid of anyone who's superfluous to your story, especially if it is a short story. Just mug them off. It's like, oh, you go now. So the first story is pretty straightforward. It's actually based on an anxiety dream I had about getting the COVID vaccination. Because the COVID vaccination was done in a field, in a tent, in a field with limited resources. And you got a letter and it was like, hey, you need to book in. I was like, okay. So I booked in and it was Stithian's showground. The other side of Red Ruth, in fact. So I booked in first thing in the morning because needles scare the ever-loving bejesus out of me. I am not the needle boy. Needles and me do not do well at all. And Dad was like, it's fine. It's like a tiny little needle. It's okay. You're okay. You're going to be fine. I was like, I don't want to seem negative, but this thing's gonna kill me. So yeah, I was there checking everything. I was there. Everything's on. Yep. So yeah, I went out there, and as I was driving there, my anxiety was just going ding, and it just kept going up. And then I got there, and I had my letter, and I had my mask, and I had everything on, and I was just like bip-ba-doo. And he's like, "You here for the thing?" And I was like, "I'm here for the thing, baby." And they're like, "Okay, go here. We'll do it straight away because you're first thing in the morning. There's no queues." And I was like, "Okay." Rolled up my sleeve, and then the girl was like, "Oh, what are you doing later?" And I was like, "I'm gonna have a poo." No, I actually can't remember what I said. I was like, "I am nervous as all balls," and she was like, "Okay," because they talk to you to distract you. She gave me a jab in the arm, which, to be fair, I did not. I felt it, but it wasn't painful. And I had the thing, and I went home, and I was like, anxiety just went, phew. I was like, okay, cool. What I wasn't expecting after the vax was at about 10, 11 o'clock that evening, oh my God, I had the worst cold. It was like having turbo flu. I was just like, I have turbo flu now. Turbo flu. I'm gonna die. So yeah, I was on the sofa, propped myself up with cushions, had a blanket over me, and I just slept on the sofa. I'm like, this is where I live now. I'm the sofa boy. I live on the sofa. But that anxiety driving there for the first time, and then the second time, and then the third time, I was not a happy boy. I was not a happy boy. And that anxiety manifested into a story. It was not related to getting a COVID vaccination, but it was kind of related to medical stuff. And I was like, what if I have a character? What if I have a lady? Because the reason writing a lady as a character is that a lot of ladies read horror. I believe that is the Exeter turnoff. A lot of ladies read horror. So if you're writing a murder story, murder, it's been a murder. If you're writing a murder story, you can write it from a female point of view. I'm going to slow right down. No, I don't need to, because this guy is right on my inside, and this guy wants to pull out. There we are. We're fine. Everyone's fine. He's got his fog lights on like a massive penis. We had no fog. We have mist, but no fog. Exmouth, Honiton, Plymouth is 41 miles. We do not want Honiton. We do not want Taunton. We want Bristol. It is now 4 minutes to 7 in the morning. So we're going to start seeing more traffic. Yeah, and it's still Christmas Eve. Yeah, so if you are writing for horror, if you're writing for murder mystery, most of your audience is going to be female. So if you're writing horror specifically, having a female protagonist kind of helps. And if it's a female protagonist that people can relate to and even put themselves in the protagonist's shoes, then that's really good. That's really powerful. And if the protagonist gets absolutely messed up in a psychological way, that's even better. Now, I don't want to seem negative. No, my protagonists are not going to get absolutely shreked, as in they're not going to get murdered. Well, wait a second. Yeah, no, they might actually get murdered. What do you say with that weird affectation? 81 miles to Bristol. If we stay at 75 miles an hour, that's an hour and a bit. Alright, I'll take it. 75? What am I talking about? 70? Where the heck am I thinking? Yeah, 70 on the nail. I don't know. Oh, because I was backed off by 5 miles an hour, and I was just like, I'm gonna lose that guy by 5, and then I went back up to 70 by 5, and my brain was like, hey, here's some maths for you, which I'm not very good at, which is why everyone is driven away from us, because we are doing the national limit. So 70 miles an hour, which is 70 is 80, which means 10 miles an hour, 10 miles after that first initial 70, which means clickety click. I can't work it out. 1 hour to do 70 miles, and then it's 70 miles, 60, what, like 10 minutes after that, 11 minutes? So like 1 hour 10 maybe to get to Bristol, as long as the traffic doesn't build up too much. Mate, I don't know. So yeah, these guys are just going to slow me down. 28 minutes to Taunton. Alright, let's take a step out past this Ford Focus. 06 plate Focus. I think that's what it is. So yeah, just scooty booty up the motorway. So yeah, character may or may not get murdered, but it's part of the story. It's part of the horror. Like existential dread, creeping dread is the first book was definitely creeping dread. It was like, I need creeping dread in my story. Oh, we're on the motorway, by the way. I don't know if we've ever recorded from the motorway. I don't think we have. Oh, well, this is a British motorway, 3 lanes, which is fun. And this is the Exeter turn-off. If you need to do a wee-wee, let me know now, because we need to turn off here for the services. Okay, we're carrying on. But, I mean, I did say, everything's recording, 3, 2, 1, 7 o'clock. Got to keep doing that to sync the 1X. Yeah, so the first story was existential dread. So the story starts off pretty tamely. Person driving in a car, fairly straightforward. They're going somewhere, fairly straightforward. But that place is not so great. And it gets not so great gradually over the entire course of the story until the protagonist can't escape. And by that point, you're on board. It's kind of humorous. There's humor in it. I do need humor in my stories. So you need humor in your stories. You need a relatable protagonist in your stories. You need people who are like living characters in your stories. Why is he going so slow? Well, he's doing 60 in the inside lane. I don't know. If you want to go to Honiton, we've missed the turning. But that turning would take us to the Tank Museum. Yeah, Warburton's bread truck. They're a truck that sells bread, or delivers bread, including gluten-free bread. Oh, I'll get back to that later. So yeah, existential dread. I do like that creeping dread through the entire length of the story until you can't get away from it. But by that time, you've had the humour, you have the laughs, you've had the character build up, you've had the friends we made along the way, and then you have the horror, and the horror you can't get away from. Because it's like, oh, maybe it won't happen, maybe the horror won't happen. No, I don't have blood. I don't like having blood and gore. That was the thing I don't want. I don't want blood and I don't want gore in there, because I don't want those in my stories. And I don't want sexy fun times. But there is nudity. And nudity actually plays in some of the relatable human aspect of it, because other characters are nude as well, and they make a comment about it, and they're like, yeah, we're all doing this, and it's kind of weird, but it's fine. So hopefully I've humanized all of the characters, at least in the first story. The second story, there's a far fewer characters. And that's kind of made it easier yet harder, because I need to make all the characters relatable, but I also need there to be a little bit of mystery. Oh, there's mystery in my story. So we got mystery in the story, which is fine. Is this lad going the same speed we are? That'd be an interesting question. There's mystery in the story, so there's something that's going to start off, and it's just a straightforward story. What I don't need it to be is boring. That's the downside to this. So I need the characters to have conversation. Then I need there to be a reveal. And then so Act 1, characters get together, have a bit of a conversation. Act 2, the characters change dynamic. The story changes dynamic. Act 3, the horror kicks in. The thing is, Act 2 is going to be interesting because Act 2 is where things get weird. Act 3 is where the horror happens, and I'm going to make you sit and just watch that horror. There is no getting away from it. Sorry, not sorry. Horror's going to happen. So yeah, the horror is going to be naughty horror. And it's going to be drawn out, but again, no blood and gore, some nudity, but some weirdness as well. And I was just like, it makes sense within the world of the story, but how weird can you go before people will stop reading? I think what you've got to do is you've got to introduce your characters, you've got to introduce the environment, you've got to make things relatable and interesting, and then you've got to make everything okay, I'm going to do a snap 3, 2, 1. I have no idea. If I do them fairly regularly, then, you know. But yeah, whatever the story is, the characters have to be totally relatable. And they have to be absolutely 100% interesting. Because if your character's not interesting and they're not relatable, then your reader is just going to switch off, turn on, tune out, drop out. They're just going to be like, mate, I can't do this. I can't read your story. Sorry, bye. Are all of your characters going to die in their short stories? Yeah, my sister asked that, and she said, no, it's okay. Like, if that's what the story is, that's what the story is. And I'm like, no, I don't want all the characters to die. But in those two stories, it just happens to be that that's what is needed for these stories to work. So yeah, if that's what's needed, that's what's needed. So that's fine. What is going on up ahead? I don't know. I don't know. A little strange, huh? Go past a truck in the night. It's fine. So, Svan. I did that time in a van. He's going quite slow. All right. Is that roadworks? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So I stepped out into the outside lane just to be sure. I don't think it is. I think it's just work on the hard shoulder. Yeah, it's just work on the hard shoulder. So we'll go back to the inside lane. 3 lanes. I know some people who will drive unapologetically in the middle lane and do that for their entire journey at like 65. And everyone has to swing out and then back in again legally. In fact, you can undertake. It is in the highway code that you are allowed to undertake if the given situation is correct. I believe it is if you're in slow-moving traffic, you can do that. I don't believe that you can do that if you are in fast-moving traffic. I think that might be illegal. I've done it before, when you've got like a train of cars in the outside lane on a dual carriageway, and they're doing like 55 and you're doing 70, and you're just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not staying here following you in your madness. It's madness, I say. Audio recorder's still doing. I genuinely don't know if the audio recorder is going to make it all the way, since the other two are being powered by the car, and the audio recorder is being powered by the a batteries, a fresh battery, but still a battery. I do have 2 speed dials in front of me. One's digital, which is easier to read, and the other one's analog. The analog one I can never read. If I was reading the analog now, we would be doing like 3 miles an hour slower than the digital one is telling us, so that's fine. Clumpton, 2 miles, Taunton Dean, 16, services. Taunton Dean. Is Taunton Dean the first services, I think it might be, you know. Dun dun dun. Services they're not truck stops, they're big car parks with a building, and you could go in and have a little wee-wee. Have a little wee-wee. And it'd be great, because the wee-wee will no longer be in you, getting pressed up against by your seatbelt. And you'll be like, oh no, I need to do a wee-wee. So, yeah, might be going mad, just saying. Oh, Warburtons and bread. Yeah, that's what I was going to get onto. So, an interesting little thing to do with Warburtons and bread. I have been having a little bit of a problem with my tum-tum recently. I have not talked about it on the channel because there's been no opportunity to talk about it on the channel. There's been no point. Why would I do that? It's something for a vlog. So here we are at 9 minutes past 7. Clickety click. Mate, I don't know. It's easier if I sprinkle them in. It's easier to find them in the edit, assuming the server goes up. So, yeah, like, I've been having trouble with my tum-tum, feeling nauseous when eating, and I'm just like, this ain't right. I noticed it when I was up with my sister last time, back in October. We went and watched a horror movie in a cave, and I was like, this is great. And then the following day, we went out and had 66 miles to Bristol. We had breakfast. We had breakfast, and I was like, oh, I'll have the big breakfast, please. And I was like, nom, 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 nom. I got one bite of sausage before the end of the breakfast. And to be fair, I was sat on a sofa or hunched up, and I just had that feeling of like, when nausea just rolls over you, you can feel it in your cheeks, in your little cheeks. Your cheeks get hot, and you're just like, oh boy. I'm gonna barf 21 flavors. I'm gonna barf at 21 flavors. Where's Ferris Bueller? I heard he barfed at 21 flavors. So yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna throw up. So I had to sit back and just chill for a second and have a cup of tea to make myself a little bit less nauseous. And then later on I was like, yeah, this ain't great. What is going on? Turns out that I was getting very bad heartburn or acid indigestion, like acid reflux, GERD, and I was like, oh, so Golf Echo Romeo Delta GERD, and I was like, this ain't right. And I started noticing it more and more, and I was like, oh, is this a thing I gotta go to the doctors for? I don't want to go. I don't wish to seem negative, but I don't want to go to the doctors. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to disturb the doctor, because the doctor might just say, you got something critically wrong with you, my dude. I'm going to stick a tube in your bum and have a look around, because that ain't right. Or he might be like, oh yeah, I need to finger your bum because it's that time of life. We're going to have bum fingering. And I'm like, I don't even know you. You need to buy me dinner first. It wouldn't be the first time, though, the doctor's done that. I mean, we'll get onto that later. But, yeah, so I believe somewhere out there's a railway line, and I believe one time I got stuck on this bit of road because someone was actually walking on the road. You know when I said that people like deer and foxes and humans walk on the road? That's exactly what happened on this bit of road one time. We all just had to stop and wait for the police to move them. So yeah, I started cutting out things from my diet. I started off with coffee, because coffee can cause GERD, and I was like, yeah, coffee can cause an increase in acid in the stomach, but it doesn't increase the speed in which your stomach empties. So I was like, right, well, I drink real coffee. I get coffee beans. And what I do is I grind them up with a grinder, and then I put them in a filter, and I do a pour over, essentially. So I do a pour over on my coffee, and I'm like, this is lovely, but what's going on? Turns out that that can happen. So I cut it out for a few weeks, and it didn't have much of a difference. Still kind of feeling sick. So I was having a sandwich, and I was sat down at my computer desk having a sandwich, and then I had a packet of crisps. And as soon as a crisp that hit my tongue, I was like, "Vunk, I'm feeling sick. What is going on?" So I was like, well, maybe I need more vegetables in my life. So I changed my diet a little bit, got some more vegetables, and I was like, well, maybe I need more fiber. I need some more fiber in my diet, because fiber makes your poo float. Wait, what? Sorry, I've been listening to you for hours. What did you just say? Fiber, yes, makes your, I got it, poo float. Poo float. It floats. It's this floaty poo. Oh, and that's fiber. Yeah, fiber does that. You got Special K in your diet? That's not like ketamine. That's like Kellogg's Special K. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're going loopy, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going bananas, boys and girls, and whatever you identify as. Yeah, everyone's welcome here. Yeah, more fiber. So I was like, more fiber, more fruit. You get your vitamins and minerals. I got my vitamins, I got my minerals, I got my cod liver oil, I got everything. Still kind of feeling sick when I eat. And I was like, you know, Mum's a celiac, right? Mum's a vegetarian celiac. Oh boy. All right, cool. So I was like, maybe I try cutting out gluten. So I went to the supermarché after work. I looked up at work like a diagram of what it could be if it's related to gluten. So it's like, it could be a wheat allergy. If it's a wheat allergy, you'll get diarrhea, and you'll get vomiting, and you get nausea, and you get all these symptoms. And I'm like, well, I don't have all of those. If it's a gluten allergy, you'll get the big poos, and you'll get a bunch of other things. And I'm like, well, some of that, but not all of it. If it's a gluten intolerance, if you're simply intolerant to gluten, there's a snap. 3, 2, 1. If it's simply a gluten intolerance, Somerset, one more county before Bristol. Excuse me, I do a cough. Hopefully, normalizing the audio, compressing the audio, just means that it doesn't blow everyone's eardrums out. If it does, I'm sorry. But this is an always on microphone. There's nothing I can do about it. So yeah. If it's an intolerance, you can get acid indigestion, you can get a bunch of things. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like it. That sounds like it, baby. What do I do? So, what? Oh my God, there's a lot of cars up ahead. That's a lot of cars for 20 past 7 in the morning. Suppose that makes sense. All right, cool. Not expecting to see all of this, but then Christmas Eve, 20% more traffic on the roads. Yeah, so. I went to the supermarché after work, and I bought myself a loaf of gluten-free bread, some gluten-free muffins. I checked my kitchen. Turns out, actually, a lot of what is in my kitchen is already gluten-free. Turns out the gluten, which makes the spongy bit in bread, I don't have a lot of it in my kitchen. The food that I have didn't have it, and I was just like, all right, this is kind of cool. This is neato finito, and I was like, this is all right. So the bread that I did have, because I make my own bread normally, the bread that I did have, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bin what's left. Excuse me. It's going to bin what's left. I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit, which is exactly what I did. So I threw it in the bin, and I was like, "You can go away now." It was only the end really, because I talked to Mum, and Mum was like, "How much bread do you eat?" I was like, "Well, I eat about 2 loaves a week, made through the bread maker." And she was like, "Yeah, that's too much. That's too much bread. You probably don't have, you might have a mild intolerance, but you just might be eating too much bread. Like, you'd probably be okay. Just stop eating as much as you're doing. Have less sandwiches. Take a salad to work instead of a sandwich or something. Or maybe just balance it out with a bit of, like, gluten-free bread or whatever." But for the past few days, I've been doing gluten-free everything. Had a gluten-free pizza last night. It's actually it was alright, it's fine. It's quite nice actually. Gluten-free muffin this morning, blueberry muffin. Because I was like, before I left, I had a cup of tea. Lovely. So, yep. And everything was it was alright, it's fine. It's fine, everything's fine. And I've been feeling less bloated. I don't wish to seem negative, but I feel less bloated. So, are we going to go past these lads? I think we are. Service is 1 mile and 13 mile. Are you getting off the services? Probably. You're BMW. No, you're BMW. Okay. We're going to ride the middle lane for a bit. London, 167 miles to London. And it's not all down this road. No, it's not. So yeah, a little less bloated, which is nice. And a little easier on the old tum-tum. I'm just keeping an eye on it. If it doesn't ease up, then I'm going to have to go to the doctors and get them to stick a tube down my throat and say, or my bum, and say, "That's what we do. We're the doctors. We're the doctors. We like your bum." And I'm like, "Please don't. I'm just a little boy." Oh, this is Taunton Dean. Taunton Dean with a very short runoff, but it's fine. Taunton Dean. This is, this is a thing. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna step out because the car's gonna come out of the services. We're going to scooty up here. The car ahead has one rear light working and one not. I believe that is what we call in the industry turbo illegal. I also believe his number plate lights aren't on either. Yeah, that is super turbo illegal. Oh no, maybe they are. No, I think, are we illuminating it or is he illuminating it? No, that's us. Yeah, he's got one light on the back of his vehicle. That's what we call super turbo illegal, my dudes. Alright. I don't wish to seem negative. Alright. Let's step in a little bit, see how fast these lads are going. Are you going to influence my adaptive speed control? Yes, you are. Okay, cool. Now we're skitty bitty around you, my dudes. Because it's 7:22 in the morning, 321. Every time I look at the clock, I'm like, it's time to scooty booty. Where does that come from? I don't know. I just started saying it one day and I can't stop. I'm sorry. So I'm in my diseased state. We're getting some light in the sky now, which is nice. So some light in the sky a few days after the winter solstice, which is good. Audio is still recording. Videos are still recording. This is great. I had no idea that we could do this. And we're all taking from the central console, except for, everything's fine. Everything's fine as we go past this Renault Kangoo. Is it a Renault Kangoo? No, that is a Peugeot minivan of some description. Don't know what it is. Don't want to be on board it. Looks miserable. So yeah, I cleaned the car yesterday, and I gave it a thorough clean, and then this morning I gave the glass a clean as well. The thing about cleaning the glass is that I've been doing it regularly recently because we have had Storm Butthole roll through, and Storm Butthole has actually straight up just coated everything in salt. Because I live quite a far distance away from here. I live in Cornwall, and this is Somerset, Taunton Yeovil. All right. So Hat Films, of Hat Films fame on Yogscast, if you wanted to go where they used to live, which is in Yeovil, they used to live in Yeovil, you'd take this junction here. So that's fun. If Hat Films, yeah, part of Yogscast. I think they're probably doing the Jingle Jam this year. So that's where you would have got off if you're going to visit Chris Trott or Trottimus. Good. Excellent. We are scooting down the motorway, driving really fast, driving in a car that is really nice. We're not, we're just cruising. I have noticed though, a lot of people will do 65 on the motorway. Like, and I don't know why. Everyone just follows the trucks, I think. I'm not entirely sure what the reasoning is, other than they can, or it's just easier to follow someone. Like, it is 100% easier to follow someone and then zone out. Bristol, 47 miles, less than an hour, I think. If the traffic doesn't build up. We got this lad, he's been following for a while. I think that might have been the BMW we passed earlier, and he's just woken up. I actually had that the other day. No, it's a Seat. Seat Ibiza? I think it's either the Ibiza or the Leon. Yeah, I think Seat they're a Spanish badge, but I think it's an arm of Volkswagen. So I believe that's probably a Volkswagen Golf under the skin. Yeah, what was I saying before we got overtaken? Dunno. I'm not going that fast. Oh yeah, everyone's going slow. I think what happens is people like following other people. It's just a thing people like doing. So sometimes you'll be out and you'll be doing a weird speed, and then people will be driving behind you, just following you, and you're just like, oh, this is a weird speed, but people just want to stay here. All right, cool. Join the gang, my dudes. So yeah, what time are you expecting to get to your sister's? I don't know. Well, we kind of started at 5:20. Like, what was that, 5:17 when I jumped in the car, something like that. Normally I would stop at my other sister's if we were driving this early and leave at 6-ish. Last time I left at 6, I got there at 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. But that doesn't include the half hour it took to get to my sister's, so that would have been 3.5 hours. So 5:20, 6, 7, 8. Dude in the middle lane behind, he's far enough away to not be a problem. Don't recognise the lights, so I'll scoot in past the truck. He's gonna floor it, which is his want. Which, I mean, to be fair, I would do that if I was on a motorbike. Get past before the next person does the thing. It's a Peugeot. I think that's one of the Peugeot. Yeah, maybe that's a Peugeot we've overtaken before. Dunno. The car's radar has picked up the car in front, so we'll step out. The radar is great. I love leaving it on because it can see. You can see in mist and fog and the dark. It's actually a really good system. And you'll see on the dashboard when it picks up a car, because it'll change. It'll give you a little icon of a car and then car distances, car lengths ahead of you. So I've got this set to sensitivity of 3 car lengths. and it'll just be like, yeah, there's a car 3 car lengths in front of you. Just be aware of that, and then it'll automatically slow down to match the car ahead's speed if you do take no action. Bridgewater services, 1.5 miles. We're not going to get off of Bridgewater, baby, because I believe you have to get off the road and then scoot around like nobody's business. I don't think it's right at the side of the road. Taunton services, not Taunton Dean. I have got off at Taunton before. Oh, maybe I've got this one. I don't know. Where is this lad going? He's weaving about all over the road in his... Is that some... Oh no, that's a smart car. I was like... Beep, beep, beep. Is that a Daewoo Matiz? No, it's a smart car. Alright. Nice. Is it nice? No. I did look at getting a smart car years ago. It's going to be the Smart Roadster. It's a 3-cylinder Mercedes, essentially, or a 3-cylinder Mercedes engine. But the engine is kind of terrible. And the... Oh, 321. Nearly 7:30 in the morning. The engine's kind of terrible, and the flywheel is very, very small. So the big problem with that is that the flywheel doesn't carry enough energy over, so gear changing is awful. And even though it's got a semi-automatic gearbox, it's an automatic, but it's got flappy paddles, so you can tell the car when you want to change gear. It's not great. It revs its ass off and then it changes gear. This car, by comparison, is also an automatic, but it doesn't have gears in the same way as a normal car has gears. As you see, I have not touched the drive. It doesn't have Prindle. PRNDL. So it has PRNDB. So it has Papa, Romeo, Delta, November, Bravo. And Bravo is brake assist. So if you need the brakes to come on automatically, you can do that. That is for adverse terrain, like going down a big old steep ass hill. And if you're going down a big old steep ass hill, sunlight. Well, it is the twilight, the early morning twilight to be exact. If you're going down a big old steep ass hill, you can just turn brake assist on instead of having to keep pumping the brakes, and the car will do it for you. And that is it. So we're going to come out again. The wing mirrors don't give us much indication of how close the car is behind, but the rear view mirror, because it tints automatically, does actually give us that extra information. So 10 miles and 30 miles. I'm thinking 10 miles is going to be Sedgemoor, and I think I see a hill in the distance in the dark, and 30 miles is going to be Gordano. So we are going to be, I'm going to be the very best, like no one ever was. What was that? I can't sing. I can't sing. Aru. I'll be the very best, like no one ever was. What is that? I don't know. That's every impression of President. Wait, I can see his face, but I can't. Who is the Watergate president? Oh, that'll tell me if anyone's actually watched this far through. Nixon. It was President Nixon. Anytime someone does an impression of Nixon, it's always the Futurama impression. It's like, Aru, I'm a head in a jar. So yeah, that's fun. So yeah, what is this? Bridgewater services? Is this Bridgewater? We'll find out momentarily. This is Highbridge, Wells and Glastonbury. So if you want to turn off for Glastonbury, you can. Oh yeah, this is the massive ass Morrison's distribution depot, which they painted different shades of green because even though this place is bigger than a small country, it starts here and it ends much further along. It is huge, it is giant. but they painted it like all the panels are different shades of green because it is, and it ends here. There we go. You can probably work out how far along that is. It's great. So yeah, Wells and Glastonbury. Glastonbury is where the cathedral is. It's also where the, if you'd go off there if you wanted to go to the music festival. Glastonbury Music Festival. So yeah, that's our fun net off. A fun little fact. Audio is still recording. Audio is the one that I'm actually worried about. Also, I'm worried about like disk space on my computer. The One X has a 256 gig card in it. The Hero 3 has a 32 gig card. That has a 32 gig card, but it's the audio recorder has a 32 gig card, but it's powered by a battery. So the bit that's going to fail is the battery, if anything's going to fail. So that's fun. Yeah, there's a hill up ahead. So that's the Sedgemoor Services. And then we're about 30 miles to Bristol. It'd be weird if I didn't go all the way. So what is this dude doing? Are you going faster than me, or are you hesitating? He's pulled out and now he's accelerating like a mad lad. He's hooning it. He is actually hooning it. All right, cool. It's nice to. I like to see it. If you're gonna step out in front of me, I like to see you driving away. I don't like to see it coming, but I like to see you drive away. In fact, I don't like to see a lot of people coming. It's just me. Just me. That's some big old clouds over there. So I think them gonna be rain clouds. I don't wish to seem negative, but I think those rain clouds. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to see the dawn properly. Is that a hair? I don't think we're going to see the dawn properly, but yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be a beautiful day. Well, today is actually very windy. Oh no, we are definitely driving into rain. Today is going to be very windy. Tomorrow is going to be super calm. So that's fun. I actually hope I've brought my raincoat. Like when you jump into your car and it is 4 o'clock in the morning and you're loading your car up with stuff and you're like, I'm hoping my camera is going to work. I'm hoping my audio is going to work. I'll clean my teeth. I got my wash kit. I got my toothpaste. I got a toothbrush. I got everything. I'm hoping I've got everything, but it's dark. I can't see. I've got this light, but this light is appalling. So yeah, I'm just like, oh, horse stables. No, that's a cattery. No, it's a doggery. What do you call a doggery? Kennels. It's a kennels. Yay, it's all lit up. I was like, that's a place where you keep animals. But the little doors on the things. Yeah, that's for dogs. That's a dog house. Yeah, I distracted myself. I don't know what I did. So yeah, we've got Sedgemoor coming up. We haven't got that far. Yeah, so that's a lot. I'm not going to be able to extract all the video because I've got my laptop here, but my laptop doesn't have the space to do that. I'll see how much is on there. Is on the One X because it records from both sides simultaneously. But it does mean like, oh, I think I can get to Bristol on this road, and that would go past Bristol Airport. I'm not going to because I don't want to do like 30 miles on an A road, and I don't know if that A road might get Ramo Blamo at 7:37, 321. 7:37 in the morning. The clicks, if you forgot or if I didn't explain it properly, is because the One X has gaps between its recordings, whereas the Hero 3 records smoothly and then just chunks the files up. So there's like a, I don't know, 6-7 second gap, which is going to be fun for editing. This whole thing's going to be fun for editing. Speaking about editing, I haven't talked about the channel. Jeez, how have we talked for this long? 5, 6, 7, 30, How have you talked for this long, 31 miles to Bristol, without talking about the channel and the videos that are coming next week? So, as I record this, this is Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2023. It is 7:38 in the morning. Welcome to Drive Time. But I've recorded 6 videos because I do not know if I am going to be... there's something in the outside lane giving it all of the sauce. What the... Oh, it's a motorbike, I think. Oh, weird. Meow. I was like, there are 3 lights. There are 3 lights. There are 3 lights. No, wait. No, there are not. What am I talking about? There were 4 lights. There were 4 lights. Yeah, there were 4 lights. You just need to say 3. No, there were 4 lights. 4 lights. There were 4 lights. What's that from? I'm going to tell you, it's Star Trek The Next Generation. It's where Picard is being interrogated. I'm going to say it because a lot of people haven't watched TNG. If you ever hear someone say there are 4 lights, it's Captain Jean-Luc Picard being interrogated by the Cardassians. And he was absolutely naked for that scene because he was like, it's going to be more realistic that way. Sedmore services. This is one of the last breaks I would take before Gordano. So what is it, 20 miles to Gordano, 30 miles to Bristol. There's good services actually, it's quite nice services. I stop here on the way out of Bristol because quite often I've had 15 litres of tea. If Dad's around at all, you will be given cups of tea. You were given, where are you going, my dude? You'll be given 800 litres of tea. I was distracted by the guy in the Nissan Micra trying to pull out on me when he didn't need to pull out. Weird, very strange. So yeah, you would be given 9,000 litres of tea, which equates to 4.4 trillion gallons of tea. And you might say, that's a lot of tea. Why is this lad up my arse? I just want to pull in. I just want to not be where you are. He could have just tapped his brakes and gone a little bit behind so I could have pulled in. But he didn't. He's gonna speed. He's a speedy boy. He's the boy that's speeding. Very slowly. Please go past. In your VW Polo. Oh, he's a Polo driver. Is a VW Polo a terrible vehicle? Yeah. On the way back from Bristol last time, VW Polo brake checked the car. I was on the inside doing 65, and I was singing along to Synthwave, to Ghost Ships, no, that ain't right, to Gunship's new album, Unicorn, and I was singing along to Synthwave, and I was like, I love Synthwave, singing along, and then a VW Polo with 4 dudes in it pulled across, slammed his brakes on, pulled back out to the middle lane. Well, naturally, I swerved out to the middle lane to avoid him as he pulled back into the middle lane, thinking I would just hit my brakes. So then I went into the outside lane. I carried on with my momentum, and he'd slammed his brakes on, so he disappeared backwards. And I held on my horn, and I just carried on, and he disappeared. I was like, what was that about? Well, I stopped at Exeter Services and did a little sprinkle break, and I was like, I wonder if I'll see those people again. Because I looked out the thing. Oh my God, he's hooning. We're doing the legal limit. He's hooning it. Yeah, as I was leaving the services, like a bunch of lads came in and they were like, oh, that car just disappeared. I don't know why. Oh, he just disappeared. And I'm thinking, yeah, I recognize you guys. I think you were the guys that brake checked me. And of course I disappeared because I didn't decelerate. I just carried on. I swerved out beyond you and just carried on while you slammed your brakes on. Don't do that on a motorway. Don't play silly buggers. Don't slam your brakes on and make other people do things. Not only is it illegal, but you could kill someone. And killing someone is not good. So anyway, yeah, back to the channel, back to the videos. So I knew I was going away today, now. I knew I was going away. The thing about going away is you never tell people you're going away. Never, ever, ever tell people you're going away. Because that means they know your house is empty, and then they know you can be robbed easily. And I like my stuff. I have a phaser and a model of the Voyager, and I've got a nice computer and some canvases with Star Wars on it. So yeah, I knew I was going away, so I knew I had to pre-record some stuff for you guys to have videos, and I always knew that I wanted certain videos. So today, because today is Christmas Eve. Oh yeah, 7:44, 3, 2, 1. 7:44 in the morning. So 7:44 in the morning. I recorded Power Wash Simulator. That was a recording that was never going to happen. I saw James playing it on Discord. James bought it and he was playing it, and I was just like, "What is this nonsense?" I'd seen YouTubers play it. I'd seen it on Game Grumps, and I was like, "Oh, this is weird." So I was watching it, and I was just like, "Hey, this is fine. This is a very noisy bit of road." So I was like, "All right, this is fine." So I was watching James play Power Wash Simulator, and I was like, "Fine." So Alan was playing it with him on Discord, and I was like, "You know what? Whatever. You dudes got a space for another?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, in about 14 minutes, it's going to be finished downloading from Steam." All right, okay. So the three of us ended up playing Power Wash Simulator. So I'd already recorded the Christmas Day and Boxing Day videos, and I was just like, "Well, let's get another video out on the go." So I did another video on the go, and that was, what is that thing? I don't know. It's Liver It Up, like no one's business. Roofing contractor. So I got that recorded as like a bonus video. I was like, well, that can be the Christmas Eve video. So that was Christmas Eve. I just find it kind of a relaxing game. It's all right. It's nice. It's a decent game. It's very different to things like. It's very different to things like 20 miles to Bristol. Very different to things like first-person shooters and Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament, which was kind of my first big first-person shooter game. I did like Unreal Tournament. I used to play it a lot when I worked in an internet cafe. It was good. It's a good game. And then you're going to stay in the middle lane, my dude. All right. And then I played other first-person shooters over the years. Kind of started with Wolfenstein 3D, I guess. But I have a thing with like 2D, 3D first-person shooters make me sick. So I can't play Doom. I can't play the original Doom because I get motion sick, like wicked motion sickness. So when it comes to Power Wash Simulator, which looks like a first-person shooter, acts like a first-person shooter, is you're just power washing. I was just like, yeah, all right, this is a thing that's happening, and I kind of enjoy it. Zen, very zen. So I did that for the Christmas Day video. Christmas Eve video. Jeez, got my brains messed up. It's almost as I've been driving for the last few hours. When it comes to Christmas Day, that is PT. What are you doing? We passed you with your busted ass light. I did a pass on that guy. Alright, he's decided he wants to go faster. Scream if you want to go faster. So yeah, Christmas Day is PT. I've been wanting to record PT for a while, and that's playable test. It was a playable test for Silent Hills, a game that never came out. Directed by Guillermo del Toro and Kojima? I think, yeah, Kojima was doing it. And they never did Silent Hills. That was a game that never came out. But PT came out for the PS4 And it was kind of famous at the time for being this terrifying little demo, about 20 minutes to half an hour long, with a ghost. Famously, the ghost actually is behind you all the time. So if you go third-person camera and you go the other side of the player, if you can look at the player's model, you'll see the ghost standing behind you the whole time. So that is a little Easter egg for anyone who knows about it. And I think if you don't have all the puzzle pieces and you touch the dial on the radio when it says don't touch that dial, the camera flips around and the ghost is right there. The ghost has always been there. That's just part of how the demo works. So yeah, I played that for Christmas Day. It's a little subversion of expectation because you're expecting like a Christmassy video, but it's a video that I've wanted to record for the longest time, and I was just like, yeah, just let's get it done. The Boxing Day video, the day after Christmas, that was Lego. I've had that Lego set for ages. It's actually called the Ender Battle. It's the one with the Ender Dragon and the little pillar with the beacon on it, and Steve, the little character. It's got a Bedrock Edition code, which is written on the side of a block. One of the things I had to do for that video was find that block and blur out the code. I don't think it works. It's a 2017 kit. So the code probably doesn't even work anymore. It's for Bedrock Edition anyway. But I was like, yeah, I don't really want people like scrabbling for the code. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna blur it out. It's cunningly blurred out. I mean, sorry, not sorry. But it's a Lego build for Boxing Day. So I thought that would be fun. Yes, the Meccano build was testing this sort of new setup for doing those kind of videos. So that is on my computer desk. That is the computer desk underneath the motorway's 4 lanes here. It's a computer desk underneath the keyboard. So I move the keyboard back and then point the camera that I got for Dungeons and Dragons vertically down from above the monitor, and that is how we do that. So I did that, like 70 instructions in there. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of instructions. How are we going to do this? Turned out it was okay. It's about an hour long, the whole recording. So that was fine. That was fun. Didn't mind that. That was a good recording. So I wanted PT and I wanted the Lego video done for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Power Wash was a bonus that goes out Christmas Eve, which is today as I'm driving, but for you it's in the past. Then it's going to be War Thunder. Now I know War Thunder's not that popular on the channel, but the video is still unique in that the tank that I'm driving around you can't get anymore. They don't do it. It was for a recent like special event. It was a tank that they did not. The other carriageway is now above us. We're going through Gordano Valley, I think. Yeah, it was an event that it was the Dreams Come True event. So I was distracted by the blue flashing lights over there, but I think they're Christmas lights. Yeah, so the Dreams Come True event that was in War Thunder, managed to do it, and I got the TOG, which stands for the Old Gang, which were the First World War tank designers having a go at designing a tank for the Second World War. They gave it a 24-pounder 94mm cannon. It should do 24 kilometers an hour, but in game it does 15 kph because they based it off the one at Bovington, and the one at Bovington is broken. I've seen the one at Bovington. I've touched the one at Bovington. I thought the one at Bovington Tank Museum was a display stand when I saw it, because they had the doors open on the side, and I thought it was like a refreshment kiosk where you go and get drinks and stuff shaped like a tank. I had no concept that this building of a vehicle was a genuine vehicle. It was huge, and it wasn't until like the second time that I was up there, I saw it for what it was. When I was up there with James and Chantel, I appreciated it for what it was. Just a giant tank designed by First World War tank designers. So yeah, I put that out as one of the Christmas specials because I figured, yes, it is one on a series, but honestly, it's a fun tank. It's a fun thing to drive. We do have to turn off at some point around here for Gordano, but I don't know where it is, so I'm going to keep an eye on the roads. It doesn't matter if we go too far, we can scoot off at a different junction. We now have light in the world though. So the dude that we've overtaken has now decided he must go faster than us. That's fine. I think this sign will reveal all to us. Is it going to reveal all? Is this Gordano Services? It is Gordano Services! Just! We are very close to our turn-off for Bristol. I didn't think I'd do a vlog all the way, but it looks like we're going to do it. 7:54 in the morning. Yeah, that's about right for a... so normally 3.5 hours on a normal good day. It looks like it might be 3 hours on a traffic-less, relatively clear day. I'm cool with that. Cool with that. We're not actually going as far as Bristol, so the road signs where it says like 20 miles to Bristol, we're actually turning off way earlier. So like the next junctions down are going to be the turn off for Portway, and then it's like central Bristol, and then it's like M4, M5. So we're turning off the autopilot for the first time since we got on the A30, I think. It's 40 along here, and they do take their speed limits very seriously around here. So we'll slow down and stop for the first time in miles. Miles and miles. Everything's still recording. It is. Lights are still red. Those ones green. So this is a kind of weird junction. Dink. It's a weird junction. We gotta wait for the green. Oh, we gotta wait for the green. Go green. I thought that guy was gonna smash into us. I genuinely thought they were gonna smash into us. Here we go. Here we go. Gotta keep an eye out. Christmas Eve. There are gonna be drunk drivers everywhere. So, we're gonna go this way. Gotta go this way. We're not getting back on the motorway. We don't want to be the worst thing in the world. And then we scooty out to here. He slowed down. Yeah, it's very wet. Incredibly wet. And then we turn off here. Now we do. There we do. Now we do. Now we know. Now we know. What's the speed limit along here? I think it's a 60. There's no signs, so we'll soon find out. It is 40. Okay, well, I'll do 40. There we go. Speed limit 50. All right. We're gonna ride the autopilot in order to keep us within speed limit zones, because I do not want to get flashed by a camera that I certainly know is along this road somewhere. So yeah, we got War Thunder, so we got Power Simulator, we got PT, we've got building Lego, Tech and Sundry, we've got War Thunder driving the Tog 2, a tank that I've seen in real life. Then we've got the Titanic. Oh yeah, that's a video that I've wanted to record in forever. I didn't mention it on Stranded Deep. I was like, you know, I've got this demo, 401 demo for the Titanic. I want to do it. I want to record it. And I had a look around it, and I was like, this thing's a maze. It's huge. It's absolutely enormous. It is a maze. It is vast. Trying to work out where everything is and then talk about it is going to be a problem. I've got a map of the Titanic, like a map of the demo. I was still getting lost. I was still finding it hard to find my way around. So we were just bumping in stuff and then having conversation about it. Murder of Crows. You love to see it. So yeah, I was like, oh, all right. yeah, I'm going to record this for a Christmas special, because it's going to be a one-off video anyway. And I know quite a bit about Titanic, so I did that, and we scooted around various places. We did first class. We did first class dining. We did third class. We did the officers' quarters. No, we did the stewards' quarters. So we did quite a bit of the ship. We did the bridge. We did the crow's nest. We did the chain room where you store the chains. The galley for the first class is not in the model at the moment, but we did find the steward's galley, which is kind of fun. So that's neat. Yeah, we found a load of stuff. I was quite happy with how the video came out. There's a lot of information in it. I was just talking for, I think it was just over an hour about stuff on the Titanic. So it is an Olympic class vessel. Obviously Olympic, Titanic and Britannic were running mates. Only Olympic had a successful career. Britannic served during the First World War as a hospital ship. She did 2 tours, and on her second tour she got exploded. She got absolutely exploded by a sea mine and sank because the nurses had opened the portholes. So they closed the watertight doors, but the portholes were absolutely opened. And it was just like, yeah, this dude is right up my butt to a point where I can't see his lights. And it is 30 along here. So I don't know what he's thinking. I'm not going to go faster because the car is now driving itself. So, and there is a speed camera somewhere around here. So yeah, that was a fun old thing. So I did that. I did. What else did I do? What was yesterday's video that I recorded and uploaded? Oh, Ski Free from 1991. Yeah, Ski Free is a fun game. So I did Ski Free, which was included on the Windows Entertainment Pack in 1991 for Windows 3.0. For Windows 3.11, it came out as BOEP, the Best of Windows Entertainment Pack, in what, 94? 91 is the birth year. There's a speed camera. 91 is the birth year of Sonic the Hedgehog. So if you wanted Sonic the Hedgehog, wanted to know when he was born, 91, my dude. So Sonic the Hedgehog is, in fact, 32 this year? 33 next year? I mean, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that's happening. So yeah, 40 along here. Good. It's lovely that I can do this. Just set the car to whatever speed and then just be like, yeah, my dudes, whatever. That is not where I want to be. I want to be here. I thought this was a different part of the road. I thought that was the straight on and this was right for some reason. I don't know. It's a junction. The guy behind me is like, I thought I could overtake. No, you can't. But we do have a little party piece. We can accelerate like a mad bastard because we are petrol electric. What? We got electric motor, boys, and we got full battery. Like this is the junction where it does the weird thing. Yeah, we're petrol electric. So part of us is electric, part of us is petrol, and we're all silver car. So that's fun. Yeah, so this is straight on past Ashton Court. Oh man! Oh, it is really raining. Or that might just be coming off the trees. Where are we stopping here? Yeah, we're stopping here. Why are we stopping here? Weird. Very strange. I did think about carrying on going, but yeah, whatever. At least that lad's away from my bum now, which is a concern that I've been having. Yeah, Christmas Eve. This is one of the reasons I wanted to not be here. Okay, 802-321. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I didn't want to be here, driving along when everyone else is on the road. Partly because everyone drives like a mentalist, and partly because everyone could be drunk. The number of drunk drivers this time of year is insane, so got to keep an eye out for the drunk ones. Whoa. Gonna slow right down. Slow right down. Yeah, we set to 20. The car's just like, okay. It looks like that's a weird bit of road. Cool. Yeah, so ski free. That was one of the other videos I recorded. That was kind of a hard one to record. I had to record it on the laptop because it doesn't take into account things like screen resolution. It is just whatever the resolution was in 1981. So it's probably made for a 640 by 480 display. So that's kind of an interesting little quirk, like a little holdover from that. So 640 by 480, obviously my display is 2K, which you probably don't know. So I'm using a 2K display, 20 miles an hour. Okay, my dudes. 20. Oh, I can't, I have to go manually slower. Okay. I can't physically get slow enough on the cruise control. Interesting. So it's a 20 zone. I was like, why is it? It's 20. No, it's 28. 28 is cruise control's slowest is 28. All right. So we have to go under the bridge. Okay, I remember this from last time. So yeah, I had to record on my laptop. My laptop's a 1080p machine. So I recorded on there, put it onto the desktop, stretched the image a bit to get rid of the taskbar and everything. And then I had a little, like the first time through, I made the abominable snowman. I kept calling him a gremlin. We're okay. Kept calling him a gremlin, but he's not a gremlin, or he's not a troll either. He is in fact the abominable snowman. That's what he's called, as an official nod to him. Quite famous as well. He's the famous part of Ski Free. So I recorded that just as a little bonus. So that's 6 videos that were out on the channel this week. And if this goes up by the time I get back, then this will be 7 videos. It is now 8:05 in the morning. 8:05, 3, 2, 1. Why do you keep doing that? It's because I've got to sync the audio and video. So the audio is recorded to a little block down there, and the video is recorded to those 2 separate systems. If you don't sync them, then what will happen is that I will keep talking, the video will desync every time that resets, and it resets every half hour, or 12 gigs, I think. It does like 11.5 gigs. The lad in front of this lad is doing 30. No, the lad at the front is doing 30. But it's a 40-mile-an-hour road. I think they are confused or lost. Don't know. So yeah, Ski Free, that was the last. So to recap, the 6 videos that I have done in preparation for being away and not telling anyone I was away are Power Simulator, PT, building Lego, I should have indicated, building Lego, War Thunder. Oh, that guy, what are you doing? War Thunder. What are you doing? Titanic and Ski Free. Yeah, I'm watching everyone who probably doesn't live in Bristol not drive properly. I'm gonna reckon this car goes left up ahead where the lights are. I think that's incorrect. Up ahead. Yeah, we're doing 26 on a 40-mile-an-hour road. Ooh, lad. Didn't think here would be where we got all messed up with traffic. It's like people can't read. Oh yeah, person in the outside lane is literally doing 28. All the other traffic is going past them. I would probably toot the newt toot. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We've done the bulk of the journey fairly free of traffic. Now this is a Sunday, so what would normally happen is on a Sunday you could scoot around no problem, but you get people like this lad. Oh my god. I'm thinking about overtaking him. I'm thinking about overtaking both of them. Red car can overtake. Red car's not overtaking. We're so close to our destination. I don't want to biff it now. Oh well. At least we have light. The light has turned up, so it's no longer dark as balls outside. Dark as balls outside. Oh, what's going on? Why is this lad? I don't know. I don't overtake because there's a traffic island ahead, and that would be lethal to the car. And it's not advertised as a traffic island. Ooh, you'd go uphill and smash into it. So yeah, that's everything that I've been doing. Good. So we're nearly in Bristol. We're not in Cornwall. This is the first time I have not been in Cornwall for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So yeah, this is going to be a strange one. Oh, he's got damage to his car. The rear passenger door? There's something wrong. Oh, he's been rammed. Ramo blamo. Yeah, I can see a lot of damage to that. Okay, cool. That's why he's probably going slow. Or they're going slow. Oh, please don't tell me... Please don't tell me you're going my way. You're not. Cool. Good. I mean, good. So we can go this way, we can go in. I've never tried to do a full journey before. We're obviously going to stop before we get to my sister's because I'm not going to dox my sister. Audio's recording, videos are still recording. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I'm obviously not going to dox my sister. But yeah, it's been an interesting one. Never had to do this, but never had to talk for this long before. I've talked with my sister in that, my other sister, Cornwall sister in the car, but not Bristol sister. So yeah, lights are all cool. We're kind of on side lights now. Yeah, everything's fine. Lights are automatic in this, as are the wipers. So there's kind of a neat little thing. I believe, like, Somerset is over there somewhere. This is the city of Bristol, so it's its own thing. I'm going to slow down and do 30. Can I do manual? Can I do auto 30? Yes, I can. Oh, no. Lights. Why would you do that? I'm the only thing on the road, except for the DPD guy. All right. You can tell you're in the city. Scooty booty. He's scooting around. Is that a chimney? I think it might be. No, he doesn't. Glad no one was following, because that would have been not great. Can I? Oh, you can't get cruise control unless you're doing 28, because it's not really meant for this. But in the city, I just don't wanna do the speeding in the city. Well, I don't want to do the speeding at all. But the number of traffic cameras they've got around here is insanity. It's like bonkers insanity. Now, is this the pub? Is this where I need to be? I think so. It is. So I'm gonna scoot this way. There we go. And now we're manually driving in the city. Great. So just one last thing, what have you been listening to? Oh, thank you for asking that. Yes, I've been listening to a lot of Gunship recently, which is synthwave. A lot of Gunship, because their Unicorn album came out. I love the Dark All Day album, which is the one before that. Really loving that. But I've also been listening to KDA, K-DA. So KDA, which I think are like League of Legends group, which have been... It's kind of fun, actually. I do like finding new music, and it's just like, I like it, another. So yeah, KDA. That's a swimming pool up ahead. What else? Sabaton. Yeah, I do like the one with the Panzer Elite, whatever that song is. Panzer Corps, Panzer something or other. Panzer Division. We are the Panzer Elite. Looking quite sweet, touching our feet. That's the one. It's this junction. We missed this one last time. Excellent. Good. So yeah, I've been listening to a few different bits and pieces. Power Snake as well. Is Power Snake the band, or is that just a song that they did? Can't remember. That's the one that Tarwanian pointed out. She's like, yes, this is how you remember Jormungandr. It's mentioned in this song. And I'm like, thank you. I didn't know. Allotments. You can tell you're in the city. Yeah, we're close to my sister. So I tell you what, as we're bumping over road bumps, I'm going to say goodbye here. It is 8:13 in the morning. So 20 past 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 hours. It's taken just under 3 hours to get to this point in the world. And I thank you for joining me. If you've been here for the whole frickin' thing, if this thing is even like watchable, then I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for doing that. If you watched this far, I mean, subscribe. What are you doing watching a 3-hour vlog and not subscribing? If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.